What?
Hello, welcome to Dungeon of the Week. We're SideQuest Live. I hope everyone is having a great week and is ready to die in a dungeon.
Yeah!
Yeah!
So, I am watching the stream and not seeing it yet, so I'm not sure if we're live.
There's delay.
It was just delay. Okay. It was just delay. Great.
I'd like to blame Twitch, but really it's this guy. I'm slow.
Okay. No, I think it was me.
Yeah, we're just gonna call it side quests.
Just side
not
quests.
live. Yeah, not live.
Side quest pre-recorded.
Side quest when we get there.
Yep. So I was hoping I'd actually do something a little bit different, have sort of a cold open of the episode, and then each of you could intro yourselves and your characters via TV opening sequence.
Ooh.
Is that cool for everyone? Is everyone into that?
I'm down to try it.
Watch the TV.
Let's do it.
It's a good question, but not relevant right now.
Nobody knows.
I have no idea what a television is. I don't have one.
I mean,
imagine
very good.
The internet, but someone else is in control.
That's just the internet.
Someone else is in control?
Oh.
All right, anyway.
All right, let's do this.
The only hesitation I have is that Bela has stepped out for a moment, and this is actually the cold open of the show, but I think she'll be fine catching up. So, we open on a sort of idyllic, small countryside town. It is surrounded by flower fields. It's got very small, colorful houses. We see pixies flitting over the fields, tending to flowers and maybe harvesting useful pieces from them. We see gnomes throughout the town streets. Some of them managing bee boxes and apiarist supplies. We see some dwarves turning the flowers and honey into mead. And the camera moves through the town, seeing all these different people, and we notice that it's predominantly, I think practically entirely, the smaller folk, dwarves, gnomes, and sprites. And all the buildings reflect this. A little bit smaller scale than we've seen elsewhere in the other villages. With this, we see smaller beasts of burden like mastiff hounds and jackals that have been trained, pulling small sleds or carrying riders. And as the camera pans through, this idyllic calm is broken by barking and yipping of hounds and jackals. We hear a gnome cry as they get thrown from the back of a hound. And the camera sort of fixates on their face as we see their reaction to some horrific scene behind us, and which is only played out in shadows to spare our audience and PG rating. As we hear the sounds of these animals sort of tearing at each other and barking and yipping, just ferociously and suddenly turning on each other. And we just hard cut to our opening sequence. We see the country, the kingdom as a whole from high up. Dungeon of the Week thrown up in some very fancy font over the screen. And Todd, do you want to do your segment of this intro?
My half-elf person is walking down the streets wearing this armor, which is a little bit unusual in this environment. Most people are not too violent, but he's kind of stretching his new dark tan armor with metal plates. He's got a cloak draped over his shoulders that's almost like grass just flowing out over his shoulder and down, dragging along. Underneath from one side, you can see the head of a lute, almost like a guitar, sticking out the side of one shoulder. A pack, a duffel, slung over the other shoulder as he walks down the path He coughs in the dust, and then kind of just fidgets a little bit with his fingers, almost like somebody kind of flicking a coin. But the coin is just pure azure blue, as he's just flicking it back and forth on his fingers. And then when he coughs, he drops it, and it hits the ground and just turns into a little blob of water. He then... and then he looks around, takes in the surroundings, and says, "All right, what fresh hell do we have here?"
Cool. Probably on the screen we see, like, Reese Fairwind, played by Todd, and then it cuts to the next intro segment, and Gordon. How do we see Tybalt in the opening sequence?
Okay, you see Tybalt kind of jogging at a steady pace, moving down the road. He's armed in chainmail, fully suited up. He's got his buckler shield and a longsword at his side, and he's lightly tanned, muscular build. You can tell he's very athletic, and he has just a look of focus on his face as he's moving to the next objective, and similar, like he's about to get ready for a race, or he's about to enter some type of competition. He's just very laser focused. His armor is gleams a bit in the sunlight, but not too shiny, and you can tell that he knows his way around using the martial weapons, and he's got steely eyes. And you could just see him. At the same time, you can tell that he has a little bit of mirth about him when he's moving around, and that he has a bit of a different side to him under different circumstances.
Cool.
He looks like he's enjoying himself when he's doing this.
Nice.
So maybe it's a competition, maybe it's just another game.
We cut from that to see Bela, your character.
Okay, so yeah, Kaylin basically is wearing like a chain shirt, and there are robes over that, and she has her symbol of saloon very large, like it's right. Kind of so everyone can see, because she's very proud of this. And as she kind of comes walking along, pretty much as she walks by anybody that's along the way, she's very excited to see them, and takes their hand and shakes it, and good day, I hope you're feeling well, and just very excited and happy and perky. And yeah, she just kind of makes her way to meet up with her friends. Great. Everybody's her friend, but
yes, of course. And I think that's like well shown in this like opening sequence. We cut to Donnie. Are you ready? Can I throw to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So we see your opening sequence. Who are you playing today? It's Kittie, right?
I'm playing Kittie.
Yeah, cool.
She is also riding on a jackal, but not like most of your other jackals. She is white. She doesn't react to the dangers around her as easily as the others, and especially with me whispering her in her ear to calm her down.
Nice.
We do see problem, and we are heading towards it.
Yes.
And I am a leather-clad sprite.
Very good. Anything else?
That's pretty much it.
Okay. We cut from that to Callen, to Carlo. How do we see... Go ahead.
You find Callen in a store surrounded by old, dusty books. yelling at a new intern to not drop that special antique. He is slim build with chestnut hair, shoulder length, those droopy glasses indicating a profession of learning. When all of a sudden his pet mouse Whiskers comes by, alerts him to the trouble that is somewhere in town, and then he shuts his big tomb of antiquities, and then puts a sign on the store that says, "Be back later, maybe," and then rushes out.
Awesome, great. We cut from that to B. Introduce. What's your segment look like?
So yeah, we see Ariana. She's a short, stocky woman, brown hair. She keeping like behind the counter at her apothecary, just like generally chatting up people. There's like a kid running around, and she's like chatting with the parents, and people are having like a good wholesome time in this in this apothecary. And the camera goes behind the counter, and you see like all kinds of weird and sinister ingredients under the counter, like eyes that are still moving, and like potions that are bubbling, and all kinds of, and like a bear trap, and like all kinds of stuff that is that seems unusual. And then she and then like someone walks into the store, shows up, holds up the symbol of the order, and she like quickly shoots everyone out, closes the store, and then puts on her sling of with potions around it, and heads out into to see what the trouble is.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good. And we cut from that again to like another like crane shot of the kingdom, and the title card fades back in. Dungeon of the Week, created by Darcy. Haha, that's me.
Yeah.
Cool. So we cut to that to commercial or something, and we come back, and you're all like walking into town. You've all heard that probably pretty recently news spread. There was like this outbreak of suddenly all the animals in town were like attacking each other, and anyone in a surrounding village learned about this very quickly, and maybe some runners were sent a little bit further away, possibly not. But you've all arrived probably within like a day or two to find out what's going on here. And as you make it into the streets, you immediately notice like they're not barren, but they're very empty. People are going from place to place as quickly as they can. There aren't any animals. Maybe you see like the sight of like a mastiff in a cage or something, and then like before like just like through a doorway as the door gets closed or something. But like animals aren't out and about like they otherwise would be, and everyone's just trying to like stay outside as little as they can. People are very on edge because something happened and they don't know how to explain it. I can show you our nice little town, so let me reveal it on the map, and then also I can throw up an image for you, Todd.
The viewer.
Absolutely.
Also Todd.
So
central. Away from the coast.
Players.
No wonder I didn't like it.
There you go. Full of flower fields and stuff. Little
I like this
town. Yeah.
By the way, this was kind of like my hometown here.
This very well could be. This very well might be where you're from. Should always feel welcome to say such things.
It kind of looks like home.
Yeah. As soon as you get into town, probably the first thing that you notice, Kittie, is your jackal is not happy. Something is wrong, and I think that you are able to like be like, whoa, it's okay, everything's fine, and keep them calm. And anyone who sees you like gives this look that's like, oh, that's like they're scared. Like if you've ever been bitten by a dog or known someone who had when they were young, like they're very frightened of what these animals could do. So you're all in town. What would you like to do?
Kaylin.
And I'm
Kaylin.
just trying to calm her
Come here.
so that she doesn't take off.
Yep.
I'm going to spot the others and kind of rally up.
Great.
I'm going to tuck the pouch of flower petals in my backpack so I don't have to worry about losing any of them.
Okay. Were you going to say something, Reese?
I was just trying to gather up the party as I spot people coming into town. I'll just kind of be hanging out on the edge and keep an eye out, humming a tune.
Great.
My hand fairly close to the rapier on my belt, just in case any animal gets a little too uppity.
Yeah. You're all able to locate
As-
each other and come together.
As I walk up to Reese, I give him a big hug.
I give a big hug right back.
Huh.
I see the weeks have been good to you.
Oh, it's so awesome to be here today.
Oh, thank
Isn't
you for helping to heal. My back's feeling a lot better now.
Oh, anytime.
And I pull back the cloak. And you recognize the cloak. It's like reeds and seaweeds and stuff. And I kind of haul up the armor a little bit, and you can see this jagged 5-finger scar from all these claws. But it's pink and healing nicely, but a really big scar.
Yeah. That actually reminds me, Callen, do we see the book on you, or is that just something that you've like documented and like sent back to the order proper, or where are you carrying it with you? The spellbook you found?
No, I left that back. Yeah, I haven't transcribed all the spells.
Mhm.
But he's transcribed the one that he learned
Cool.
into his
Yeah.
own book. So
I
I have my own book. I just don't have her book.
Right. Yeah, and I imagine it's the sort of thing where when you find spells like that, you're able to bring them to the order and share spells with other members. So that's actually a really interesting point that I hadn't considered. Theoretically, B, you could what's your name, Ariana?
Yeah.
You could theoretically, if Callen's okay with it, learn spells from him. If you have the money to spend.
Yeah,
hadn't considered
I'm
yet.
actually kind of strong on cash right now, but yeah.
Yeah. It's just something to think about in the future. I completely forgot that, definitely I'm okay with you sharing spells between each other. And I imagine that the spellbook that you found, right, you looked into and studied yourself, Callen, but also Ariana would have been free to peruse.
I've perused it, but I haven't been able to make any progress just yet, and things have been busy at the store. And
let's actually talk about what spell you learned from that book for anyone.
So the spell, the spell cost that we pay goes towards the order, or is it just for materials?
It's consumed. Yeah, it's
Got
practice
it, all right.
stuff and rare inks and whatever that you need to get the spell in the book. However that works. But yeah, you're not paying the order for it. But yeah, you learned the custom spell I wrote, Complacency.
Quite, yes.
So this is a level 1 spell. It's an enchantment. It is a 1-action or ritual spell. And it's a touch. The components are VSM, but the materials are herbal infusion boiled in a copper cauldron worth 10 GP. So it's not consumed each cast, but you do need to somehow prepare that component. So there is still a GP requirement to get it going in the first place.
Okay.
And the spell reads, choose an aspect of the affected creature's life. The chosen creature must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, they become entirely complacent about the subject matter for 24 hours. If the affected creature takes damage, they immediately make a charisma saving throw, and the spell ends on a success. You can cast this at a higher level to increase the duration to a week, and then again to a month. And this is, as you read the spell and figured out how it worked, you determined that this is what the hag was doing to keep the town calm while they were stealing children. And now you can do that. So, hope you're not evil.
All your
Still
children stealing needs.
Yeah.
Darcy,
Yes.
one thing can I do kind of while they're doing whatever they're going to be doing as they come kind of like in or whatever? Can I start, like, I'll sit down by, or like kind of by Reese, and start doing a ritual casting of detect poison and disease.
Great. Yes, please.
Just kind of so I can get a sense of what's going on with the animals.
Yeah, you see how everyone's, you meet up, you identify each other that are in the order, and start talking about stuff, and in this time, Kaylin, you start to prepare your ritual.
I think Ariana walks up to Kaylin and is like, are you thinking rabies?
I hope not. I have not had my shots.
Yeah.
Curious.
I hope I can figure out what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reese, you've had shots, but not the right kind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess while you do that, I will. I'll pursue my own investigation, and I want to go to. You mentioned there was like a mastiff in a cage somewhere, just like staying out.
It's probably not like out. Well, yeah, actually, maybe they did. Maybe they kept it outside.
They don't want it to be like inside.
But it's also caged. Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, so I'm going to go up to that, and I'm going to
make your way into town. You find like someone's yard that has it in it, or like
Yeah.
Did I see anything at all from the fields?
I'm sorry. Did you say you like flew it over the fields? I completely missed that. I'm sorry.
Did I see anything from the fields? I mean, I heard the commotion go off, and I turned to look.
Oh, you want to say you were in the town at the time of it happening?
Yes.
I completely missed that. Oh, I think that sounds great.
That's why I said this is hometown.
Right, yeah, but it doesn't mean you were there when it happened. But no, I love that. That's great. So you've already been like a little bit looking around. Maybe you even sent some runners out to find other people when it happened.
I was in the field picking flowers. I mean,
great. Yeah.
I turned to look at the commotion. That's all. Just like, did I see anything at all? What was causing this?
I would love a check from you. Not a very high DC, I don't think, but maybe there's more detail if you get a higher result. Perception would be fine. That seems like it's probably a perception since you're not like studiously investigating.
Let me bring up my character here. Come on. Perception.
Okay. Oops. It's actually fine. I probably shouldn't even ask now that I'm like really thinking it through. Because you remember when this happened, how very quickly you found you had to flee the fields as they began to get like overrun by like wasps. Not like the bees that the honeybees that your apiarists keep, but like wasps pouring out of the ground, or maybe in from like nearby forest or something. But
like mud wasps.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So very quickly, all of the sprites out in the fields hurried in. Somehow that didn't spread to the order directly because there was the focus on what was actually happening. But especially if you meet up with everyone, you can very quickly share that like there was also this other thing that happened about the same time, and it probably related. I
didn't catch eye on that though.
No, I mean you're aware that there were wasps, and you felt like you couldn't stay out in the fields. Whether or not that's up to you, or where they came from. That's hard to say. But you can like as the other members come into town, you can share this information. You can say, no one's been back out into the fields really, which is really putting a strain on what most people's jobs are out in the fields, right? That's what their daily life looks like, and they're just like filled with these like over aggressive wasps, but they're sticking to that territory, in a way, right? They're not like pouring into the town and attacking people.
I'll relay that to everybody when they get together.
Yeah, great. Please, yeah, you were gonna go up to a mastiff.
Yeah, and I want to I want to kind of investigate with my medicine skill.
Oh, you're gonna try and
kind of see it's affected by some kind of toxin or something like that. So I kind of, I don't know. I get like a little bit of his drool and I pour it into a vial and I put some stuff into it and it changes color and.
Cool. Yeah. So I think the first thing you notice is that when you approach the cage, they're a caged animal for a reason, right? They're immediately very vicious towards you. Actually trying to get close enough to get a sample or something, that's not just going to be a no-roll situation.
Okay.
But just from general observations, you might find something out before you want to brave that. I'm going to cut over to Tybalt and Reese. Is there anything that you're doing in this moment of other investigations happening?
Yeah, I think I'd like to ask Tybalt and Reese or Reese if they could help me with this dog, kind of help grab it.
Mm-hmm. Rabid dogs are Tybalt's department.
Yeah.
I'll help.
Okay.
I'm more a people person.
Calm it down with some music, would you?
I'll try. I'm gonna try to play it a song.
If you think it will work.
Love it. That's really
Hi
good.
there, little puppy. Aren't you so cute? Jesus. What's your name? Cujo?
Who's this Jesus?
That's
It's a guy I knew. Used to drink. Who told the craziest tales? He's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Carpenter.
Yeah. So do you think that would work? Song?
I think you can try.
I'll try to calm it down, and
sure,
and maybe Tybalt can try to. I'll just do a performance check. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think this is performance. Feel free to use wisdom instead of charisma if you prefer. I'll let you choose whichever. I assume your charisma's higher, but yeah, I'm not going to penalize you for that wisdom would work. I feel like that would be not cool of me.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll some wisdom anyway.
Because this is very similar to an animal handling. You have the 3D dice turned on, don't you?
I do. Sorry.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm
12.
The numbers aren't showing up. Yeah, so you start playing that, and I think we see it as we saw it, right? You go up and you start this tune, and it's very immediately aggressive still, and you pull back, and maybe you would have been able to do something, but you couldn't maintain your composure long enough to not stop and then hit a high note.
All right, not a music fan.
It pulled back as in towards the back of the cage.
No, I meant that Reese pulled back. It's jumping forward. Yeah.
Hey. I just got this thing fixed. Tybalt, after you.
Callen, is there any action you're doing as well?
Yes.
Go ahead,
prior to going into the town, I would have cast a ritual detect magic. So I'll just stroll into the town, walk around, see what I can see.
Okay.
Probably haven't received some of the intel that came in, and just try and see if I detect anything out of the usual, besides the standard array of magic that's used. So
great, yeah. So you walk through the town,
the outskirts,
really away from your companions. Do that. Tybalt, were you about to do something? I think I cut you off.
Yeah, I kind of look at Reese and shrug and say, I'm not really one for wild dogs. I just kind of shrug at Reese. Good seeing you again, though. And I just kind of slap him on the back of, like, where the markings were. Just, like, not too hard, but like, hey, glad you came out of there alive, buddy.
Very good.
So I think, like, for my guy, I think he really just he knows that he doesn't have the magical abilities to start looking around, and he's probably actually just going to go in and try to get a better understanding. And I assume he came here at least with some information that there's something going on. There is likely a monster here or something, but the townsfolk may not really be aware.
Right.
So I think he's really just going to go in and see if there's like a village elder, like someone that he can speak to about the troubles, to get a better understanding of at least where that would be centered on.
Possibly somebody I would know.
Oh.
Possibly somebody that I would know.
Yeah, you've got a local here to help you guide.
Okay.
So I think that whoever wants to go off and talk to like either like the mayor, for lack of a better term, or like maybe the sheriff or something. There's probably a sheriff of the town, that kind of thing.
Before you leave, just let me finish my ritual. I don't want people walking up while I'm busy.
Yeah. I'll wait for that.
I like them to protect me, kind of stand around me and protect me while I'm doing that.
It finishes about at this point in like everyone's side business. So, what does the spell look like?
So, I do take out my herbalism kit because it is part of it. Like it's like I incorporate that, and I have a little mortar and pestle, and I take out my little yew leaf, and I put it in there, and I'm, getting it good and mushy and whatever, and mixing up some liquids and drop it in there, and kind of as I do, the kind of smoke comes up from there and spreads out. Like, what is it? 30 feet?
It's a 30 foot, but like you can move
30
right?
foot around from. Yeah, I can walk.
Yeah,
and
you're the center.
It emanates off of me.
Can I request that it be near the vicinity of where the mud wasps came out of the ground?
I can walk around. It lasts for.
Oh, you're casting
minutes.
basically on yourself then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it casts on me, and then.
It's like detect magic in the same way that it's lasts for a duration that your senses are attuned to the subject matter. Which in this case,
reason I'm asking is because where they came out of the ground, there's a good chance that it might tell you something.
Might. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna walk around for 10 minutes, like just kind of like Callen is.
Yeah, so I listen to
doing.
the intel. Yeah, same thing. Like I listen to the intel. Oh shit, wasp going there. Okay, well let's see if there's anything that would be out of the ordinary for it, right? So.
Yeah, I think you make your loop of like the town and go, this is not really, there's nothing notable here, right? People don't have magical items in this setting really, except for maybe you guys. But you like circle back to the party and they're talking about like, okay, let's maybe you can detect this poison. Let's see if there's anything that we can find. And the first thing that you'll notice, Kaylin, is that the animals don't seem poisoned.
They're just scared as hell.
Or disease?
Or diseased.
Okay.
It's something else that's causing them to behave that way.
But
They're
there's
scared as hell.
magic didn't reveal anything either. So I think like it's relayed. I was like interesting, and then I'll be back in a minute, and I want to go find like a corner and like make some potions.
Are you gonna make some quick potions up? Okay.
Yeah, and I imagine, and that takes like an hour, right?
It takes like an hour to make potions. Yeah, it's like a short rest, effectively.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll do that.
Can I invite him into home?
Oh yeah, I mean you can take Ariana into your
Oh,
head.
wait a minute. He can't fit in my home.
That's true. I mean,
Near your home.
Yeah. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, would probably be better
so
to work.
let's talk about like where people are going, because it sounds like we might be splitting up, or we might be not doing certain actions. We've got two people, with one with a detect magic and one with a detect poison, who in theory might want to go check out the fields where Kittie saw the wasps.
Yeah, and I also want to see if it pinged anything when I was around the animals.
Right, and you might have missed that, but I was saying that the first thing you noticed that
I
the
did.
animals were poisoned. Okay. And Reese and Tybalt, I think, wanted to take a look
Poison.
at, like talk to a someone who's in charge around here. Do you still want to do that, or and does
Yeah, I'll
anyone else
tag
want to go
along
with
with
them?
Specifically, who would you like to talk to? I'll kind of point you in the right direction.
Whoever's an authority figure that might give us more answers on where the problems are, some background information, anything they could know that might give us more of a sense of what we're dealing with.
Okay.
And let's use Kittie's house as kind of home base. If we ever need anything, we'll recoup here.
Kittie,
Also,
what
is there a smith shop?
Yeah, probably, sure.
Because like on the way, I'm gonna get some smith's tools. I've just been practicing in my downtime.
Okay.
I was gonna say your muscles look even more muscular.
Muscular.
You've been pumping irons, literally, haven't you?
What the ladies say.
Yes, they're looking more gooder.
Is this something you
Gun
basically
show.
just want to like have picked up between sessions, or is there something specific you're doing with that?
It's something I picked up when I leveled.
Okay, so you can feel free to have done that between. If you want to say that
Okay,
you
and
picked
yeah,
up
sure,
this
I've already
out,
done that.
that's flavor because they're going to be,
I mean, I picked it up, but I also want to kind of
maybe like dwarf tools actually because
You
they
just
have
wanna
dwarf
flex.
tools now.
see new tools, right? Because
Great.
Are
That works
those?
He
I'm
just
gonna
wants something
bend
to
down
play
and
with.
scoop up the tongs that he just dropped and be like, "Are these your tongs?"
No.
they're lent out. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I want to see like the different kind of tools used here. I hear like the shorter folk have different ways of sharpening blades and putting armor together. That to compensate for height differences.
Yeah. So you can definitely find like a dwarven smith who's got some very nice stuff, but then you can also find like a sprite smith who's got like very fine tools that you probably couldn't handle. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's
not-
okay. I'm thinking more maybe dwarven, and then just kind of like compare notes, and maybe so maybe Reese can talk to the elder, and I'll talk to like a smith or someone like while we're comparing notes, like, hey, casually bring in like what's going on in this area. This is weird. Animals are freaked out.
So
Yeah.
before I'm gonna find a little sidestep, like where I won't be seen, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
kind of touch my cloak like this, and it'll just turn like a plain brown kind of fringed leather, just a little less out of place, and I'll just
Okay.
and my clothes will be kind of just normal clothes instead, not
I love
armor.
disguise I love disguise self just as like quick change fashion.
Exactly. And
It's the best use of disguise self. So, no, I'm still me. I just like have nicer clothes.
exactly, I blend in a little more, raise a little less eyebrows when they're like, "Hey, why are you armored?"
Yeah.
So I just kind of look a little less oddball, and
Mhm.
go walking up to kind of the town square and look for who's in charge. And Kittie pointed out who it was. Anybody else want to come with
Great.
me? Somebody smarter than me?
I had to
I'll go with
Trade.
you.
I had to guide somebody to the house so they know what they were looking for.
All right,
Well,
Kittie and Callen.
if Callen's going with you, I'm with Callen, so I'll go with you too.
We could all stay together. Drag
Great.
the party along. All right, so
Clock's ticking on that 10 minutes, but yeah.
What?
The clock's ticking on that 10 minutes, but yeah. that's
Oh, I thought we would have finished what we had been doing, or no?
It depends on if you wanted to just know are the animals poisoned, then you've done that. But
Or
if you wanted to find out anything else, or disease.
Yeah. I also wanted to kind of check out. I thought we both were going to go check out the area in the field with the bees.
Right. So if you're doing that, you're not going to.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thought too that we had finished that task then. But
okay. Yeah. So had I. So we won't.
Yeah, we'll carry on.
No problem.
Okay.
Let's start with that. I'll be able to keep an eye on you guys. I'll just kind of elevate myself above everything and keep an eye out there. I'll know where you're at.
Great.
And I have to guide Ariana over to home so she knows where I live, of course.
Great.
I'll catch up with you guys when you go to the See the Mayor.
Great.
I can wait.
From bird's eye view. Let's follow Callen and Kaylin. Beautiful. First. So you are sort of directed out towards the fields. Kittie, you were just saying that you were going up, but were you going to lead them or not? Just say, go into the field, you'll find it.
I just point them over in the right direction. I knew where they were coming out of the ground, so it's just that's
I think you definitely
much the central location area.
So you start heading out. It's one of those, like, if somebody was out here, they might be like, whoa, don't go out there, it's dangerous. But no one's out here to say that because people are keeping inside as best they can. And as you get closer, you notice a few things right out the gate. It first of all, like, there are like the bee boxes with honeybees, but they're like, you're not seeing bees like coming and going, and like they're like almost like they're also hidden away from everything else. And as you make your way out into the flower fields, you start to notice, like, in this, just like in the air, like you can visibly see these like wasps in the air. And maybe you can't tell that they're wasps immediately, but you will be close enough that they are in fact a poisonous creature. And I believe detect poison gives you animals that are poisonous. Detect poison and disease for the duration. You can set the presence and location of poisonous creatures and diseases. You can identify the kind of poison, poisonous creatures, or diseases in each case. So
pretty good spell.
The wasps are poisonous. They have a poison, like many things do, but it is more potent than like the sort of simple poisons that you would expect. It is certainly, it's stronger in a way that like your spell cares. Do you know that makes sense, right? Like, there's all sorts of poisons in natures that probably your spell wouldn't pick up on because they're like a simple numbing thing, right? Like the mosquitoes have a poison, like they might, I don't really remember, stuff like that. And this is like actually pinging on your spell of like, okay, these have some sort of heavy, like serious poison flowing through them. I don't know if you would get the kind of poison because you're instead getting the kind of creature. What do you think? I'm happy to open this to the table.
I mean, it's totally up to you. The way I read it, it would include, like, it doesn't say
detecting the poison inside a creature, not just detecting the poison.
Yeah,
I'm happy to say that. So the poison, it is like reading as a poison, but its effects seem like more magical than you would expect. Let's see if I can get you a good thing on here that feels like an appropriate amount of information.
And as I'm kind of discerning things, I'm speaking in Gnomish to Callen and just kind of transcribing everything that's kind of coming up.
Yeah.
So that he knows.
You identify the wasps as carrying a poison which you can only describe as disconnecting the target from their own soul. What that exactly means is a little bit vague in your brain, because that's not normally the kind of thing poisons do. But that is the way that it is, like, the way the spell is, like, parsing what it is, like, the data that's incoming. So whatever that is.
So when I get to that part, I'll kind of stumble a little bit because I'm not quite sure how to say it.
Yeah, it's in like a metaphysical sense, not in a like this poison kills sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well. Good information.
Callen, you have a detect magic going on.
Yes.
Probably getting really near the end because you also like made a loop of the town. I think probably you're not getting that far into the fields yet, right? Like sort of you're pushing out, but you haven't gotten very far.
No.
And you're not finding anything yet. You're certainly like within range of like the wasps and stuff, and they're not reading as magical in the way that you would maybe expect them.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll transcribe the information from Kaylin.
Cool.
And make an asterisk. Don't get stung by wasp.
Don't get stung by wasps. Reese and
that is one of my tattoos
Tybalt.
Somewhere. No, not in real life.
Don't get stung by wasps.
It will be after this.
Yeah, sailors are terrified of wasps. It's a well-known fact about sailors. So it's just the two of you, or you split up, right? One of you is finding like an elder or a mayor or something, and the other is finding like a blacksmith. So you individually, but the same sort of first few beats is going to be the same. So I'm just going to describe it together. You find a home or a building that feels appropriate to who you're trying to find, and of course it is shut up, and you would have to knock the door and introduce yourselves. I think that goes fine enough. People aren't so terrified that they're like locking their door and no one's coming in. People are still like going from place to place when they have to. They're just sort of hurrying and keeping it as little as possible. So when you rap on the door and someone comes to speak with you, you are able. I think I'm not going to make a rule for people to be hospitable. People are pretty hospitable in this setting, to welcome you inside, and be like, oh, come on in out from there, and let's have a conversation. What was it that you wanted? That sort of thing. So either of you want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna just introduce myself. I'm Ty. I'm an athlete, but I also have picked up a hobby of smithing. I just show my tools, and want to do a little repairs on my armor and like sharpen the blade. Looks like there's some weird stuff going on in this area.
Well, what brings you down here? You're speaking to like a dwarven gentleman, stout with pretty nice clothes. And they welcome you in, and they've got like living area that's attached to their like smithy. Probably the actual like smithy has like open air to the outside for ventilation purposes, so this is like in the building connected to the smithy more than actually into the smithy the proper. They probably start by asking like well, what brought you to town? Like things aren't
visiting
really great
a friend,
right now.
Kittie.
Oh, Kittie.
Yeah.
Lovely lady. So what can I do for you? You're looking into a smithery.
Yeah, it's a hobby. In between me training for some competitions, I've been taking up some smithing.
Well, that's always good. Always good to hear. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing for at least a little while, but, for the time being, I'm being I'm a little worried about what's going on, keeping indoors.
What is going on around here? Animals are acting weird.
Animals all suddenly started eating each other. Most horrible thing I'd ever seen.
Don't animals normally eat each other?
Yeah. I don't know where you're from, but
I mean, like a wolf will eat a hare. Like,
oh well, sure, but like not the beast of burden.
Oh, you mean like animals that normally just eat like grass and
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a pony here. I don't ride her very often, but she got ate up by a jackal.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When did this start happening?
Day or two ago. Very recent, and animals don't seem to be calming down none.
Is it just everywhere, or like I want to avoid crazy animals? Is it all around the town, or is it just
all over the town? If it's out further, I haven't heard about it. Not happening where you came from?
No.
Well, let's cut for a second. And is there any larger goals you're having in the scene? Is there like an investigation, sort of like social investigation you want to make? What is your intent? So we don't.
My intent is to get more of the information of like what the Smith knows, like while we're like checking out tools and whatnot, what the Smith knows of what's going on. So I know when it's very recent.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out if there's a particular area. Also want to know if like maybe there's anyone new to town or anything that besides what he just described with the animals eating each other.
Yeah, make a check to like pick their brain and like navigate the conversation. Whatever role you think is appropriate, just justify it to me.
Sure, I'll do I guess just say a persuasion check.
Great.
$11.
Okay. Yeah. So they are relatively forthcoming, right? They're not trying to hide information from you. They're not super happy to be talking about it, even though their voice is saying it's still surprisingly jovial. They're not like delighted that this happened. They're just living their life as best they can. So you wanted like anyone new to town. They're like, none that I can recall, stuff like that. Feel free to ask one question from the list, but some of those questions might not be answerable here. But feel free to ask one question. I think that's a one question result you got. And
right.
Feel free to think about this if you want, so we can have the scene with.
Sure. I mean, I guess, and I want to choose a question that's appropriate. Like,
yeah.
But
feel free to ask a question, and I might go, you know what? You can learn that, but probably not. And if you ask a question that I don't think you can answer, I'll ask you to ask a different question. I'm not going to like say you wasted it. So,
sure. I mean, I guess what I would say is that if there's animals that are attacking and potentially eating each other, then really is there something more to this? Is there something that they're trying to do? Like
based on the behavior that has been observed by the townspeople?
Yeah, like what are they actually trying to do? Are they?
Yeah, so you're having this conversation about like tools and stuff properly, and then like weaving in your questions to be as discreet as possible, and it seems completely random from his perspective, right? It seems like they are just like they're lashing out, like maybe they're scared, maybe they're angry, maybe they're just like feral, right? Like they're trained beasts that have been like domesticated, and suddenly they're not, right? They don't seem to be intelligent or like have specific goals, if that answers it. Cool. Reese, you are instead trying to find someone who has authority in this town. And I think the town
name's
leader,
Reese. Take me to your leader.
Yeah. Great. I think the town leader is a sprite. I think it's a male sprite named, I don't know. Donnie, do you want to name the leader of the town? They're a sprite, if you want to. You don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot, but you have first dibs.
Mayor Jack.
Mayor Jack?
Hello. you're Mayor Jack, yes?
Yeah, and I think you approach this like house that is clearly like more diminutive than you would be super comfortable in, but it's not like just a hole in a tree or anything. It is large enough that they can, entertain the like dwarves and gnomes of the village, right? And no one wants the ceiling to be right above their head, so it's high enough that you're not probably even stooping. It's just like right above your head, right?
Like my base,
maybe brushing your hair, yeah. And then they welcome you in, and they seem like very frazzled and not sure what to do, which is not new, right? This is like what you've grown to expect from like people in towns when monsters happen, because it's not a thing that people know about.
Hello, Mayor Jack. It's good to meet you. My name is Reese.
Hello.
I'm here to lend a hand.
What brings you to our town?
Hi. I heard about all the horrible stuff going on, and I wanted to just offer my services.
Your services? What would that be?
A chronicler, assistant. I do know my way around this, and I point to my sword. But I've been around, and I've traveled the seas, and I've traveled the world a little bit, so I might be of use. Do you know what's going on out there?
I have absolutely no idea. Suddenly, the sky was filled with insects, and the animals are driven crazy, I tell you.
What if we back that up? You said that this suddenly happened. So when was this?
Absolutely suddenly.
Was it like yesterday?
We should probably agree, Ron, when it happened, if we want it to be the day prior or 2 days. It's all like about how long. Probably it was like yesterday, right? Because Kittie was in town and probably didn't wait too long to start doing stuff, right? So,
and we all got our spidey sense to show up in town.
Yeah,
it's like a message in the back of our head
nearby,
that's like,
right? This is
go
why Resvora is not here. She's off doing something somewhere else. Wasn't able to get here quick enough to be relevant, that sort of thing. So we'll go with like literally yesterday, like it just happened. And you probably want to time. I would say like noon. And it's probably one of those situations where like until you mention it and you're like, do you know what like the time was? They realize it was like precisely noon, in a way that like they hadn't really struck them how like exacting it was.
Now,
but again, it hasn't stopped, right? Like the animals are still not behaved, right? This isn't like a bomb went off. This is like a thing started.
Well, what would be the most like? Where would you like me to help the most? If this is still going on, then I mean, I saw some jackals. Where would you need a couple of extra hands? Me and some friends are available if you need us.
I'm honestly not sure where to start. This isn't something that we have a, survival plan for. We don't know what's causing it.
Is there anything else that's been strange? Maybe like some kind of toxin? Some kind of mold spore? I don't know these things, but I have smart friends.
Cool. So yeah, you pick their brain for a bit. You're like, this kind of thing, and I think that you've like walked yourself into a position where they will tell you if they know a relevant thing. Let's look at those questions that I made again. Handouts, rules.
Do we know where it started?
Here?
You said it happened all at once, but did something happen any earlier in one spot?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say it was like
all at once.
As far as all the like witness reports being, right? It was like suddenly this started happening all over town, as opposed to yeah. But I mean, there might be like a central point, but it wasn't a distinguishable amount of time that they could like report it.
Okay.
But yeah, you wanted to know, like, it sounds kind of like you're asking, like, what sort of creature is it? Like, if something caused this, and you're not going to necessarily get the whole answer, but if there's reports of, like, mold, like you said, or if there's reports of some other thing, you might narrow down on it. And the only thing, just through this, like, conversation of, like,
what else was going
back
on?
and forth, asking different questions, maybe there's a few things that get mentioned here and there that, like, you initially go, and maybe? No, probably not, right? Like, well, there was some scum in the pond, but that's normal, right? Stuff like that. The only thing that stands out is these wasps. They're, like, wild wasps that are not, like, normally in the area. They just sort of, like, I don't actually know what season it is right now. I did never nail it down, but it's, like, it's not even, like, okay, there's the seasonal, like, you know...
it's the seasonal.
It or anything. Right,
it's
nothing like that.
Hornets.
So if anything is the source, it is that. That is what you come up with, which,
right.
As a player, is probably not surprising because we've already looked at some other avenues. But Reese figures that out and goes, "Okay, the wasps are definitely
connected
in some way."
All right.
So there you go.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mayor Jack. I'm going to be staying over at Kittie's, a friend of mine. So if you need anything, you know where to find us.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Your name was?
Reese.
Reese. Yes, thank you.
Reese Fairwind.
Reese. Lovely woman. Great. Anything else you want to do in that scene before we cut?
I'm going to go back and ask if Tybalt's done pounding his steel.
Great. Do you all meet back up at round Kittie's? Or is there something anyone wants to do before that? I know that Ariana is doing some spell stuff, and she's at Kittie's though, so we can determine what's up with that.
Yeah, I was decided to finish that before people are finished with their stuff, or no?
Probably not, but I think we will. I think what we see, right, is everyone sort of comes back in from whatever they were doing and meets back up at Kittie's, and I would love it if you would describe what everyone sees you doing, like, on Kittie's stoop, effectively.
Okay, yeah, because
you're doing alchemy.
Yeah. So how tall are sprites actually? Just to get a picture of, like, what size dwelling this is.
We're all about 1 foot tall.
Okay, yeah. So so going inside is not really an option. But yeah, I am have like a little I have like a kind of a cloth like laid out on the ground. I think we're actually in like the back garden, which doesn't really hide me so much, but it does Anna's kind of because
you feel pretty isolated. Like maybe someone's gonna look at you through their window, but that's about it. People are sticking to themselves most of the time.
But I don't think I got too much. But yeah, I'm just missing some stuff, getting putting affirmation for ingredients in a thing, and kind of more empestling them, moving them into another thing, and I think this is feel good there. So I think she's just I've done it, and I think as feel.
So for 1 hour, you can make 2 potions.
Yeah.
Assuming you have the spell slots available. If you don't, you can use your new level 2 ability that lets you swap the spell contents of a potion.
Yeah. So I have free. So basically, I have 3 potions prepared already, but I am basically swapping one into another one.
Right. So extracting the magical essence and replacing it with a different magical essence.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Did we lose somebody?
Oh.
We're just gonna be rearranged for a bit.
All right.
So it should be fine.
While we're at Kittie's, I'll just do I'll cast Unseen Servants as a ritual spell and just make sure everybody has some tea and some crumpets from the ration packs. Not exactly the good stuff, but
right.
At least we can relax.
Yeah, I think we still see Ariana doing a bit more of her alchemy while you have shown up. So you start doing this ritual. You start sharing the information that you've picked up from each other.
Yeah, and
while Ariana is finishing, so you definitely have time to
I think we had the scene of me being focused and just kind of grabbing out a crumpet out of the air or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think like
a gnome couple walking by kind of peer curiously over the fence. And I'm like, it's just meth. Just don't mind.
Kittie, yes.
Hearing what, Bela and Carl, what they had to say, I'm going to go aerial invisibly.
Great.
I'm going to go over towards the fields and see if I can't get a feel for a specific location, possibly a swarming area, if it's all centrally located or if it's more spread out than what it seems.
Okay, yeah. So you head up and you start to survey the area. I think just like without a check, you are seeing that a very consistent coverage over like the flower fields, and the flower fields surround go around all around the town, right? So like complete, just the entire like flower field sections of the town, all around, seem very consistent. You might think about like where how far in Callen and Kaylin said that they got, and probably if we like flash back to that, there is a point where like the two of them noticed like wasps like sort of surging in towards them, and they had to like back up and be like, okay, that's enough information for recon. Let's meet up with everyone before we start trying to fight the wind, as it were.
Right, what's the I'm trying to see is if maybe there's an area where they're like to be protecting.
Yeah, so I do like this. I think the central location, right? With no roll, you get the like it's pretty even coverage, but please also roll and see if you can pick up any more like fine details that are not so obvious.
Perception.
Perception sounds good. Investigation is also reasonable, whichever you prefer. Wow. Consistent.
Shit's low.
Yeah, so it just seems very consistent coverage. Nothing stands out as being exceptionally impacted
but
or focused.
They're not very high elevated.
No.
I'm pretty much above that.
Yes.
And you say it's all around town as well.
Yes.
It's not as concentrated though.
It seems like the swarms of wasps are appearing consistently all around town in the different, like in all of the different sections of flower field around town, not around. All around town is a confusing sentence, but yes, it is. You're not. If there is a more concentrated section, you're not noticing it. Unfortunately, it seems very consistent.
I'll go back to the party.
Might be because it is, or it might be because you're missing something. You can't really tell which.
I'll go back down to home.
Great. Any other details you want to add before we finish Ariana's potion making?
I'm definitely going to share what I found from the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the only thing that's really strange is these big wasps that were buzzing around that you already checked out. Maybe they're like stirring up trouble, making the animals nutso.
And I'll just share what I know.
You know what? I will share something that I'm realizing I didn't mention. You aren't hearing any buzzing.
Ooh.
I never described any buzzing, but I realized that saying you aren't hearing it is important information that I omitted mentioning.
Yeah.
Silent wasps. That's weird, right?
It is weird, especially if they're not making a noise.
Maybe they're mime wasps.
Stealth. They're stealth wasps.
No, you can see them. They're just like mimes, though.
Oh.
I've seen these performers. They don't make noises and they act.
Don't joke about mimes.
If
I
you
will
can't
not abide
hear
them.
them, they can sneak up stealthily. No?
I think they're mime wasps.
Would you like to put your heads together and make maybe a group knowledge check or something? It sounds like what
Everybody,
we're doing. You're bouncing ideas off each other.
Come on.
More like just a bit of jokery.
Not that Kaylin knows crap. She's
I headbutt
wise,
Tybalt.
but not too smart. So
Would it be Arcana, or would you want for...
It's whatever avenues you're taking, right?
I know history. I'll do history. Have I ever heard of wasps that don't make a sound?
I'm trying to feel if history is going to be relevant. I'm just going to preempt the roll and say I don't see it. And let's give me a justification. And
I guess I have nature.
Obviously, it's hard for you to do because you don't know what it is. But I'm going to say I don't think history is relevant.
Okay.
can I do either nature or survival? Would either of those work?
And you can put your heads together and do someone can roll nature advantage if you want.
I'll also give a bardic inspiration. I'm going to sing a song to whoever's making the roll. I think Kaylin, and be making up a tune about the silent wasp. It came into the town. No one
So
saw.
I have. So then, would I have advantage plus the D8?
D6.
Yeah, are you making the check or are you giving advantage to someone else? It sounded like you weren't.
I'm proficient in nature. Because I was gonna do nature or survival. I think nature's probably better. I've got a +3.
I'm going to give you a D6 for bardic inspiration.
Yeah, I'm really tempted to say that you playing while she's trying to think is not helping, but I'm not going to do that. So yeah, you bounce some ideas around each other. Six.
I'll get to. I won't be distracting because I'm going to be singing about the silent wasps, and I'll be like, "And the wasps go."
Yeah, that's accurate.
Does somebody have a different check that they have higher proficiency in than me?
The best thing I have is history.
Do Arcana.
The best thing I have is
relevant.
The history of the area.
And the wasps go.
No. Not that relevant. No.
Right, so just to clarify, I'll do the nature
advantage.
with advantage and
you may choose to save the inspiration if you want, but it goes away at 10 minutes, so you probably don't want to. You'll probably want to use it here.
I'm going to use it.
Yep.
And if it's okay with you, I'm going to give myself guidance.
Beautiful. Yeah, stack it all up.
I might as well.
You might as well.
And the wasps go! So, okay.
You think poison. What do I know about poisonous animals?
What do I know? And I did do that other check before. I was doing the detect poison and stuff.
Okay, so we got 22 before any extra
God,
dice.
I had the advantage. Thank you.
Very good.
Then we have a D4.
And the wasps go.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
What is that, 29?
29.
Is that 29?
That's a 29.
Yes. Cool. So, first and foremost, I don't know exactly if this is a nature check. This is a science check, I guess. But the result, I'm still going to give you normal nature stuff as well. But there's one piece of information that I'm just going to give you free. Wasps not making noise, unless it's a weird magic thing that you don't know about. If it's a physical thing, that's them vibrating at a frequency you can't hear. They're producing a sound that is not a frequency that you're picking up on. But maybe, because you know things about nature, animals are.
Yes, the jackals and animals are.
So that's what I'm going to give you for free. Please ask me some questions from investigation, and I'm happy for all of you to look at the investigation sheet, and I'll just put your heads together about which questions you want.
Reese has a question.
Okay.
Reese is
super
excited.
muted.
We can solve this right now. We just need all the villagers to make a whole bunch of little tiny earmuffs.
What?
And just
Doggy earplugs.
Jackal earplugs.
Hey, how?
I'm gonna go talk to the mayor.
How's Whiskers reacting to all this?
Oh, you've got a mouse.
Yes.
Oh, dang, I completely forgot. You, like, check on your mouse, and, like, where do you keep them? Are they, like, in your shirt, or, like...
Yeah, in my pocket.
Yeah, I think you, like, check on them and realize that they've been, like, biting at you through your shirt this whole time, and you just hadn't noticed.
Just gnawing on your nipple.
Yeah.
What? It's a new shirt, man.
Because it's not a rat, it's a mouse. Like, this is not the
That's
same
right.
kind of, like, massive incisors that we normally think of. Yeah, I think you just, like, hadn't noticed until now.
Holy shit, Whiskers. Like, what's wrong, man? Obviously, I can't speak to animals, but...
What's wrong with Whiskers?
Speaking of which, so
And the
I'm
Whiskers go.
done with my potion making, right?
Yeah, you made some potions. What
Yeah.
potions did you make?
Well, I switched on one. I switched it out to so I think as like kind of thing that I was like, oh, I think I have, yeah, oh nice, I have something for this, and I take the potion I'm working on as a potion of speak with animals.
And this is one of the, like, I can't help myself talk about my own class. This is one of the benefits of Nostradamus is that you can cast spells that are normally self-only on other people because you've imbued them into a potion that someone else is allowed to drink.
Yeah. Actually, hold on, let me just see how long speak with animals lasts. How long we...
I think it's 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah, it seems to be like the thing.
It's pretty common for that kind of a spell.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so actually, I guess we should. I suppose we should figure out how to use this. Who among us do you suppose would be best at talking with these animals?
Does anybody want to talk to animals?
Does animal talking require charisma with this?
I imagine so, but yeah.
I usually say that since animal handling is wisdom, that you can basically, instead of an animal handling check, you could do, like, you can use your charisma if you wish. You can use, like, normal social skills like persuasion and stuff where you otherwise may not be able to, that kind of thing. But yeah.
All right. Aside from Whiskers, is there anybody else that we need to talk to animal-wise, or like, because if we do this, it's only lasting 10 minutes. Like,
can I put a pin in this for a second? Because
yes.
I feel like Bela was owed a lot more with her 29 than I gave her. So, are there investigation questions that you would like to ask from that? I think you can ask like 4 of them.
I thought Reese was going to ask them, but
No, he's not very excited about the dog earplugs.
I realized afterwards he got excited about something else. But I thought it was about that. So I'm just gonna. Where are the questions again? I'm just.
They are
for
under
them in the
handouts,
list.
rules, and then
Investigation.
Yeah.
How many can I have? 2?
I'm gonna say 4.
4?
Yeah, you rolled real well.
They
may not all be relevant, right? Depending on if, like,
well, I already know
a nature check is gonna happen.
Yeah, I already know what sort of creature it is. I learned that earlier, right? From my detect poisonous, like, it told me what type of poisonous creature it was.
Yeah, you found that, like, these wasps seem to be the source, as far as you can tell. Obviously, we've noticed, like, Kittie be interested in, like, maybe there's, like, a source of the source, if that makes sense, right? Maybe there's another monster or, like an artifact or something, which
what's it
may or may not help you here.
I'm gonna ask, what's it trying to do?
What is it trying to do?
What's its end game?
Cool.
By disrupting these creatures.
Based on the behavior, that's the word. Behavior you've noticed, The goal seems to be actually to sort of drive people out of the flower fields. The animal thing seems to be more of a side effect, not the intent. It's not they don't really care about that. They just happen to produce this high-pitched frequency, which is highly irritating and maddening to the animals. But from a behavioral standpoint, it seems like they are trying to keep people out of the fields.
So this is technically not one of the questions, but can I modify?
Feel free to ask me. I'll see if I can.
The question, instead of what happened here, can I discern kind of...
Who happened here?
Well, what... Because this wasn't here before, yesterday.
Right.
What brought this here? Like, why did it pick this location to start driving people away?
Yeah,
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Can you figure that out from this? I think you can.
I don't know.
The wasps seem to be... From your observations, you would say that these wasps were once normal wasps, but they have been affected by some other creature to be made more magically inclined or more monstrous. So they are natural. Wow, there's a rumble happening over here. I don't know if that's picking up. Wild wasps exist in the area. They're not super frequent. Maybe they come in from the nearby hills or forests or wherever wasps come from. I don't know enough about real wasps.
England mostly.
But they don't come up in such rich amounts and bully as much as they are right now. They have been affected by some other thing, or not necessarily another monster. It could be some magical effect or something, and made more monstrous. This did happen all very suddenly. Your only thought there is that it might be sort of almost like a hibernation period, okay, it's summer now, let's go, right? Or whatever, something like that. You do actually remember hearing that it happened almost exactly at high noon one time. Yeah. So the hottest point of the day, that might have triggered something. That's something that occurs to you.
Okay. And then the last question I'd like to ask, if I can discern it, is what can hurt it?
What can hurt it? Let me take a look at my notes, because I know what I want to say, but you
can always tell me
if
I can't figure it out.
Well, I like to plan weaknesses into my monsters. So, all right. Wasps as an individual are a little bug, and that might be a huge threat to a sprite, but to you, it's not a big deal. What's the problem is when they're a swarm, right? You've played D&D before, you know how swarm monsters work. These swarms could be very effectively dealt with area fire would be more effective than it normally would be. I have modified the swarm situation so that you could actually I'm just going to read this to you because I think that is the better way of conveying a mechanical thing, even though the character is not interpreting it mechanically. A swarm is vulnerable to fire, taking double damage. A trained fighter can make a flourish with a torch with a DC 10 dexterity, acrobatics, or performance check to destroy 3/4 of a swarm instantly, or deal normal colored damage on a fail. So that is an individual swarm, right? You're not going to hit the entire field swarms, but one swarm could be instead of going through the normal D&D hit point system, you can immediately knock its health by 3/4 by making a DC 10 flourish with a torch. But you have to be did I say a trained fighter? That I probably meant a martially proficient.
So
as a trained fighter, I mean a martially proficient character.
Okay. So basically, my sports guy.
Yeah, because Resvora's not here right now. I don't know if anyone else has martial proficiencies.
I
might.
Yeah, some.
Right? I think,
I think probably
she would automatically think of him.
Oh, maybe not, actually.
As kind of...
Do you not get like rapier as a
I get rapier, yeah.
Card? I think that works because like you got the like I know how to do cool flashy flourishes thing, right? Yeah.
I don't.
So that would be appropriate.
Okay.
And like you can make a dexterity performance check to make this instead of a like something else.
But
also
I think
feel
I
free
would think
to like
Tybalt first.
Yeah, and feel free to like ask me, hey, does this other skill make more sense? Because I might not have thought of everything that is appropriate for a flourish with a fiery torch. Anyway, that's what you learned there. I don't know if you had another question or not, but I'm happy to answer one more.
Can I ask one question? I want to ask Bela directly, basically. Do you think smoke will help?
Ooh, smoke them out.
Do I think smoke?
Smoke, if nothing else, to calm them down.
Yeah, I think smoke is definitely something that would affect them, right? And this is something that you would assume based on, yes, you know that they're not
Will
behaving.
it affect them positively or negatively?
Negatively. And this is the sort of thing that you're not 100% sure because you're like, well, that seems appropriate if they are natural wasps and they are similar to natural wasps, but not. But I think you would determine that, yeah, that's going to have like either they're like going to avoid it and you can like, manage maybe you can like create like a smoke screen so that they don't even come near you and you can walk through the fields to do something. Or maybe you can like Kittie suggested, calm them down with the smoke. Both those seem very possible.
Herbal smoke.
Yes. Cool. So you have this like, putting your heads together, thinking about, okay, what are we up against? And you come up with a bunch of different conclusions that you think are probably accurate, and you feel very confident about them too, right? Kaylin probably feels very like divinely assured that is correct via her guidance spell, right?
Wonderful. Thank you.
What do you do?
Well, we got torches.
Pin in that like animal thing. Do you still want to do animal stuff?
No, I just because you mentioned the gnawing, and obviously like something is wrong, but do we want to waste a potion of animal speaking like right now when it's just the mouse, or do we want to keep it until maybe talking wasps? I don't know. Like
maybe you talk to the wasps. I don't. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You talk to the
That'd be a good
honeybees
idea.
that are hiding in the boxes. I don't know.
By the way, my jackal's name is Sandy.
Oh, very good. I will try to remember that.
I'm going to check on her and see how she's doing.
Yeah, and again, like I had not completely realized that you were saying that you were in town when it happened. So probably like when it first went off, you immediately were like, "Whoa, calm down," and you like had to actually struggle with them for a bit. But do feel really confident that they're in a position where like you can keep them calm, and they seem like they're not like they're having a bad time. Like they are maybe not in pain, but like very uncomfortable. But they are like they're managing. Is there anything else like more specific that you want from me? I can maybe help you with that. But
well, I can't actually speak to her, but I can sense that she's uncomfortable. Of course.
Yeah. You have your heart sight, and you can like I think that works on animals. I'm not entirely sure, but I think probably. So you know that it's like very uncomfortable, but like you have been able to calm them down enough that they're like willing to stick with you, and you have like probably I'm gonna say like if you're okay with it to say that like your bond is not just I bought them yesterday, right? Like your bond is longer than that, even though in the like scope of the TV show we just saw them for the first time today.
Right.
Probably had them for longer, maybe even like knew them as a pup, kind of thing. I don't know if jackals go by pups as kids, but whatever.
Kids.
Yeah. Jackal goat. Jackal goat's a good monster. I'm gonna write that one down.
As long as you don't do spider goat. which is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for the party's benefit, Sandy is not a fighter. She's basically, I can only fly for so long. If I need to take a rest and continue with you guys, she is there. I can ride her.
Yeah. And that's something that, if you've been to like this village before, you've probably seen other sprites doing the same thing, right? It is a relatively common in the setting, I'm going to say, mount and beast of burden for sprites and such.
So I'm gonna spend the 10 gold pieces and start making that herbal infuse just in case.
Oh, nice.
Because I assume that that component can last for a few castings.
Okay.
And then
so you are spending the 10 gold to get a very well-made copper cauldron, which I don't know how portable that is, but I'm happy for it to be portable enough because I don't care to like penalize you for it. And then so maybe you actually go over to where Ariana is set up, and you pull out this copper cauldron. Maybe it collapses. I don't know. And you share like herbal ingredients.
All right.
To work on this, and I'm sure Ariana is very interested in the because you're basically making like a potion. It's just that the potion is a component for a spell.
So with that, then says he wants to try the spell.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna ritual cast it, and he's gonna select Whiskers, and the component of Whiskers' life that he wants him to be complacent about is the Wasps.
Great.
So my pet mouse is, unless Whiskers rolls a... What is there? Is it a... Hold on, let me check the spell again.
That's true, it gets to save.
Yeah, charisma saving throw.
Roll low, Whiskers. Roll low.
Roll low, Whiskers.
The Speak with Animals potion, can it be split down so that I don't have to imbibe the whole thing since I'm that small?
I don't. That's a slippery slope. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't want to drink the whole thing.
I kind of want him to have to drink the whole thing and be like,
I think you have to drink the whole thing for the magic to work. Is the thing. Yeah. It's not. It's about the spell doesn't properly cast if you don't drink the whole thing.
All right, here we go. Here we go, Whiskers. Let's see.
Yeah. All right. I will roll a d20.
Oh, okay, you'll roll. Okay, good. All right. Disregard my roll then.
Okay, beautiful.
Even worse.
Okay, so fucking Whiskers does not care about the Wasps anymore. 24 hours.
Yeah. I think that you notice this change in demeanor. You don't know if whether or not they're actually less uncomfortable, or it's just it's discomfort that they don't care is discomfort. Does that make sense?
I see. Stop chewing my nipples.
Yes.
Then that's good.
Yeah, you probably you boil this this concoction of herbal remedy basically stuff, and with the casting of the spell, you're speaking the verbal components and the somatic components. You're probably touching the forehead or whatever of a mouse with the stuff and the sword.
This shit works. This is awesome.
And I will name him George, and I will love him and squeeze him.
Great. Yeah.
All right. So I probably still have some of the stuff left over for in case I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how much of a batch of the component you can make, but the gold cost is a one-time cost. It's not a.
Got it. All right. Got it. Okay.
So, anyways, I suggest we grab some torches. I assume that you told us a little bit of that information, and maybe we should check this field out. We can use the torches to keep these things at bay. I'm pretty good at, swordplay and juggling. I know Reese pretends to be, but I'm actually pretty good.
Juggling?
And,
good idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to light some torches and juggle.
Perfect. You can get torches and stuff. I'm not going to dock you money for that. I don't care. That's irrelevant spending. It's not. Yeah.
How did the mayor take my request to make earmuffs?
Did you go and actually ask them?
Oh, hell yeah.
They seem like totally unsure why that would work, but they also are willing to try anything. So yeah, they start contacting people. I don't know who that is, but they seem like they're like, I'll try anything once, yeah.
Just knit
Gonna
up
need some cotton wool.
Cool.
Just get it in there.
Hopefully,
Maybe some wax.
Hopefully you told him you gotta calm the animal down first in order to stick it in his ears.
Yeah. I think they're very aware that these animals are dangerous. So, yeah.
Yeah, their own pets.
Yep. So...
All right, so let me ask the party this. Do you think if I spoke with Sandy, she could actually help us pinpoint where the sound is driving her from?
I think maybe we can ask the wasps, but I don't think
the wasps are going to talk to you as much as she would.
Oh, feel free.
Wasps are not animals.
Okay. Well, feel free if you think that'll help, but I think fire will help.
And smoke, yes. All right, we won't waste the speak with animals.
Cool. Yeah, you can hold it till later.
Suggest we go to the field and find out what is causing this and kick its ass. I'm just gonna load up with torches. Who's with me?
When I get back, I'm with you. What are we doing?
Playing with fire.
I'm with you. Although
what
water's
could go
more
wrong?
What could
when
go
you
wrong?
light on fire, I will put you out.
Nice. That's a good deal. I think we're going to cut. I think we cut ahead for a bit. And actually, do we want to take a break? Is that a thing that we wanted to do on this show? I don't know. It's 11. We can cut and then have our last fight hour that we usually do. That's how these things tend to be.
Absolutely.
Investigating for the first part and then have the last hour be a fight.
All right. That's cool. We'll come up with any other
chance to plan this.
Yeah, so I think we should cut to our little break. Everyone can do everything they need to do, and we'll be back in how long do we need?
15 minutes sounds good. Or maybe 10.
What do you need, Bela?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I know you got to let the dogs out.
I'm trying to think if I'm gonna do it now. I probably will, yeah.
If you're going to, then great, let's do that. If you're not going to, I don't even care about stopping here. I'm happy to keep going. I just thought now's a good opportunity to, if you want to take it.
It's Miller time. So we'll be back.
Well, regardless, I do want a break. So that would be helpful.
Do you want more than 5 minutes, or is 5 fine? That's the question.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
All right.
Great.
10 minutes. We will return.
If you decide to do 5, that's fine because I can just come back a little bit later.
That's also fine. Whichever.
All right.
Right? That's okay with me too.
Okay. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes.
Sorry.
All right, just a quick shout out, everybody, while we're going on break. You guys can go on break. I just want to remind everybody, we always put our stuff up on YouTube. We always throw it up on podcast places. So it's on Podbean, it's on iTunes. You can check out last campaign. You can check out the first 2 episodes of this campaign. And you can always join us live here on Twitch every Thursday. So check it out. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back in a little less than 10 minutes. Cheers. Welcome back. Here we almost go. All right. Hi, everybody. We are back.
Beautiful.
Thanks for joining us.
So I think we fade in from the fictional TV show's fictional break, and we see you as a party sort of wading through, for lack of a better term, these flower fields, and you've sort of got sentineled up around you, people with torches trying to drive back, and you have to walk into these swarms of wasps, and as you flourish your torches and maybe you even have something rigged up to produce more smoke than it otherwise would, you're able to sort of carve a path and start to navigate through this. The question becomes, you're establishing an okay barrier, you're not immediately threatened. Where are you going and how do you find your destination?
I'm going to fly upward above the crowd, and I'm going to try to head them towards the center of the fields.
Okay. You start to make your way up and are able to get enough height before the swarms converge on you, because they don't want to get as much height as you're getting. So that works fine, right? Even though you don't have the smoke and the fire to protect yourself, just the height is enough. And you're looking around, and as you saw before, right, there are these swarms of wasps all throughout the different fields that surround this town. But probably there is a largest field that maybe is worth investigating. I'm not really sure what leads you're trying to lean in on, because you tried this before and you couldn't find any specifics.
Well, basically, they didn't have a group coming towards them this time. Now that they do, and I'm going to be up above, and I can verbally tell these guys what might be ahead of them. I can. I'm gonna give them eyes from space, if you will.
I'm gonna point up to Kittie and just pluck a couple of strings on my lute, just on my back, and then this little vibration in your ear, just this little message spell. And I'm like, what do you see?
And you may respond in kind.
Right.
As part of the spell.
25 words.
Tell them what I see. When I head towards a larger field.
Nothing. Tell the others.
So, yeah, so you're able to keep in contact with each other while eyes in the sky. That's really good. As you're making your way. And I think through the combination of the extra vantage and also a little bit riding off of the previous nature check, you're able to sort of observe the behavior and patterns of the wasp's movement to find a path through the wasps that for one reason or another feels like the right way to be going. It's not super clear. It's not it's not like extra dense area, and there's not
just trying to see the wasp patterns, actually the swarms. Are they trying to push us away from something?
Yeah, as you're pushing in, the wasps, they are pulling back from the torches and the smoke, but they clearly are intentionally converging on you to try and drive you back toward the town if they can.
So I'm just trying to.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just trying to see, okay, fine, they're trying to drive us back towards town or whatnot, but what are they trying to drive us away from?
Yeah, so I think that
a location. I see it almost like a game, right?
It's more of a directional drive.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point where I want to move towards, right? The point of resistance.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think that you just everybody working together, you are going to find a direction to head in. And it's not necessarily the largest patch of fields or anything. So it doesn't seem any remarkable geographically speaking, but somewhere deeper into the fields. But like further away from the town proper, but not otherwise notable. You were able to navigate through these wasps, going, okay, this is where they're pushing us most away from. Can we lean that? And like other patterns, and probably as you're getting closer, I think, Kittie, you're noticing more movement throughout the rest of the fields. There's never a time when the coverage of wasps completely goes away, but it's thinning in other spots as more sort of converge on your location as this like threat that needs to be pushed back, which further solidifies that you're going in the right direction. And I think you come upon a patch of field that somehow it didn't like seem notable before, but to Kittie, I mean. But since you're looking for it, you're noticing this like ever so slight rise in the land, like some sort of hump of earth that is buried here or something.
Not normal than what it used to be.
Yeah, it's one of the things that it's subtle enough that no one really picked up on it, just like in day-to-day life. But since you're looking for it, you're noticing like this is not just uneven the way that things naturally are. There's something here.
Having worked the fields before, it's not normal from what I'm used to seeing.
Right.
All right, I'm going to direct them towards that direction, of course.
Yep. So you all converge on this area.
Kittie says that way.
Again, as you are, things are getting thicker and thicker of these wasps, and you're getting more actual resistance. And I think that it becomes enough that like a swarm pushes in through the smoke and the torches. So there's like a swarm that is just sort of like within the spaces that like between all of you effectively, right? As opposed to on the outside that you're keeping at bay.
I'm gonna leap in the air and do an athletics check just to basically use my torches, because I'm having a torch in each hand and just basically
Nice.
I figure like a fire swallower, sword person.
Make that check, and we'll roll initiative for everybody.
Do you want me to make the check first or roll initiative first?
Make a check, and then you can also roll initiative. I know before I did you made the first action, so you got first in initiative, but I'll also have you roll instead of having you
Okay.
Otherwise, you end up just effectively having last initiative, and that feels bad.
24.
Beautiful. You flourish your torches through this, and it immediately completely what's the word? Just
dissipates.
Engulfs them in flame. Burned.
They're burned for their transgression of a daring break through the barrier. And they're not completely gone, but the majority of the swarm of wasps just immediately crackles and pops as you swing the torch through them. And yes, please, everyone, roll that initiative. How much is remaining? Okay.
Ooh, great.
Oh. Cool. I should actually pull up the turn order and get you all in here.
That's who's missing, Bianca.
Yep, she is not here tonight. That is your attack. Okay, so let's start with...
Naturally, I go last.
For the listeners at home, Coot and I rolled an 8. Cortez rolled a 15. No. Todd rolled a 17. No. Gordon rolled an 8. Carl
Kittie rolled
a 12. And Bela rolled a 19.
17.
And by the way, Kittie rolled a 4.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, rolled a 4.
I mean,
totally.
Because it's plus, yeah. Gordon, you got an 8 total as well. Beautiful. Love to see that. Carl, 12. And Bela, 19. Beautiful.
Gordon, how did you add the +2 on your roll?
I just rolled like the 1d20 +2.
When you're typing in the format, assuming that's how you've done it before, right? /r space. You just actually use a plus sign in the number, and it will do it for you. Okay, let's just make sure this is correct. 19, 17, 15, 12, 8, 8, and then this one needs to be blanked out. Okay, beautiful. So we see you strike through them. I think that the way you described it was perfectly good for an athletics check. And they crackle and pop, and I'm gonna stop there. Kaylin, you are first. You are surrounded on all sides with these wasps that don't seem to be pushing in through the barriers that are supported by your companions. But there is one swarm of wasps that is within the group of you, right? If you think of yourself as making like a perimeter, and then it's breached it. And it is, what is it? How do these work? They reduce the swarm, blah 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 blah. I thought there's a whole thing about them like getting weaker. Yes, right. Swarms get weaker. If the swarm has half of its hit points or fewer, their damage reduced. So you notice there's like definitely less than half of the hit points, but more than that actually. But yeah, you're noticing like very little in this swarm.
Okay, so I'm gonna look around at like my compatriots, and basically at second level, I'm gonna upcast Bless. I put it into the chat. So everybody, well, not everybody. It only goes 4 people. So I'm going to bless Reese, Callen,
everybody but me.
Kittie, everybody but you?
Yeah, I'm in the air.
That makes sense. Yeah, she's above. I don't know how high up you are, but you're up.
Yeah, it's way beyond 30 feet. Yeah,
I'm above the swarm.
Yep.
Reese, Callen, Tybalt, and Ariane. So everybody but me and Kittie.
Great.
And so you'll all get a D4 on all attack rolls, and all saves.
Roger, Dodger.
And that's my action, and I believe at this point I don't get a bonus action if I do that first. Yeah, I don't get a bonus action because I can't cast another first or second level
you would have
spell.
an action, but you have nothing that can use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
So at that point, is there kind of, when you say there's kind of swarming around us, is it like, I'm trying to I have a harder time at visual theater of mind.
It's very cinematic is what is happening, right? It's like, imagine like a movie, they're buzzing everywhere, but there's no actual buzzing.
Okay. So I can't kind of position or move myself without an attack of opportunity then, because they're already there in my space.
On the outside, basically the swarm has created an environmental factor as opposed to a like monster factor on the outside. Any of that make their way into your perimeter are going to be combatants, and everything else is going to be narrative.
Okay, so
like you are in a lair, and the lair may take an action to summon swarms, but they're not actually combatants until they become a like distinct swarm. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah. So basically what I want to do is I want to kind of position myself between Reese and Tybalt. So I have like a meat shield barrier around me.
Yeah, that's probably like where you already are in a lot of ways, right? You've got anyone who's using
witch. Come on, Tybalt.
Maintaining that.
Get the meat shields. Right? Get the meat shields up.
Like, I'm
Yeah, and that's probably already the situation, right? Anyone who's wielding torches is maintaining that perimeter. Everyone else is inside the perimeter being protected.
Right.
So It's great. I understand your fictional positioning, right? We're doing cinematic. Things can be a little bit wishy-washy and still work. Reese, how do you react to the situation?
I take a half-hearted glance around, be like, hope no villagers watching. And I summon the tentacle of water. So it's this watery tentacle just goes out of the ground and just starts like slapping at some swarm. So that's for my bonus action.
Great.
And then I think that I mean, I guess if something gets really close, I'll zap something with my crossbow into the heart of the swarm.
Feel free to do it one thing at a time. We'll see how this goes first.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I'll have the tentacles slapping around, and then I'll just keep waving my torch.
This watery tentacle splashes through this swarm. Let's see how it has an effectiveness.
In the middle of the party and kind of just slopping around.
No, I got it. Yeah, no, it works. Are you gonna roll for that, or do I need to save?
Yes, I do have to roll. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
What? I have to do
all right, yeah, guys, this is cool. Yeah, okay.
It'll happen someday. There we go.
All right. Yes,
hitting?
you will hit with.
And that'll be a D8 cold damage to one of the bugs. Oh, I don't know why it rolled again. How do I make it?
Yeah, it rolled again. You want to include? Oh, there you go.
There it is. 4
Beautiful.
cold damage.
Yeah, so the tentacle just like swipes through it, and like basically they get like wet and they can't fly. They splash to the ground, but like a few of them manage to like zip away and like avoid it.
And I'll just
you're down to very few
individual
wasps in the swarm.
It's just dissipating.
Yeah,
nice.
Totally.
That's my turn. Just
Ariana,
keeping pace
what
with
do
the
you
rest.
You're muted, B, if you don't know. If you do know.
Oops, sorry. I was actually wondering, if I drank a potion of animals, would I be able to understand them communicating with each other?
Possibly. Depends on like how they communicate, right? Like it's a bit of an awkward spell in that it's like you can understand what animals are saying, but also animals don't really talk in the way that humans do. So it's a bit of a weird thing. Let's find the actual wording to it. Speak is not spelled with 2 E's. You may comprehend and communicate with beasts. So
I know like a lot of I know bees. I don't know about wasps, but like they communicate through like motion and like.
Yeah, I think that like all forms of communication you would be able to intercept. Totally.
Oh, cool.
You just hacked their communications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to do that, and I'm kind of, I guess like this maybe it's like investigating, but I want to see like they're trying to protect something here, so I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to protect and like.
Okay.
Where's their weakness?
So we see you pull this potion, pop it, throw it back, and all of a sudden you can like hear this buzzing that wasn't there before.
Okay.
And you feel like you have a very like you are not being like demanded by the hive mind or anything, but you feel like you're like hooked into it, right? And you're like, oh, I can feel these wasps like all over these fields, like all the way across on the other side of town. You can like sort of almost feel them, right? And through this understanding, like it's almost telepathic, this understanding of the network of wasps, you know that you're in the right spot. You know that there is something buried here that they are protecting.
Can you do like an investigation check to find it or find what it is?
Why they're protecting it? It's like they don't know why they're protecting it, right?
Can you do like an investigation check to try?
Yeah, I think you can get a free investigation check there. If that is the preferred role.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Todd.
I do what I can. I do my own Foley.
Hey, nice.
Okay. Is there a question you want to ask me? Or yeah, what do you want to know?
Let's see. I guess like kind of I don't know, like sorry, I'm just having trouble finding the thing.
Sure.
But it's something like it's not so much what can hurt, it's like what is it trying to do, and what is it trying to protect? Which I guess is kind of like it's kind of mix of what can hurt and what is it trying to do.
Right. So you identify the real monster, which is that there is another monster, a monster that is commanding them, buried here.
Okay.
I don't know if you get the details, right? It's not like so much that the Wasps are like, oh yeah, there's like a, bullywug hiding in this field. Like it's, you're not getting that. You're just getting that there is like a monster, and you can tell it is like an intelligent mind that has exerted its will over these things. And I think you can even sort of feel in a weird way the essence of that creature inside these. Like it has like almost like each wasp has absorbed a piece of whatever this monster is, and they're like treating this monster like it is a queen that needs to protect it. Also, you managed to hear the buzzing, so I need you to make a DC 15 con save.
Okay. Sorry. How do I just click the Constitution thing?
There should be a con save button, which I think you have proficiency in. Yes, Constitution. So proficiency bonus.
In saving throws, right?
Constitution. Yeah.
Nice. What do we got?
Hashtag blessed.
You're blessed. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Very good. You get an extra D4.
Yeah, let's roll a D4. Hope for good.
Yeah, you need a 4.
Yeah.
No,
No.
that's not enough. You immediately bite, not attack in any other way. You bite the nearest creature to you.
What would that be?
It is more. I think we see you like you reach out, you feel this for a moment, and then you are overcome. I think anyone seeing you, we probably don't. Maybe we see, just because it's like a TV show, we see like your pupils get dilated or something, and you just like rear back and bite someone, and it is with like a force that you did not know you were capable of, and no one knew you were capable of, and you probably are not capable of. Instead, I want you to make an attack roll at +8 with no other modifiers.
Maybe roll a D6.
Roll D6 +8.
Oh, so yeah. Who do you want to attack? Actually, who is nearest to you?
I mean, I hope there's like a wasp near to me, but yeah.
If you want to bite the wasp, I'll let you do that. Do you want to bite the wasps?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Eat that wasp. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, make a roll D20 +8.
Oh yeah. Oops. Sorry. There we go. Yeah,
Cool.
I do it.
Yeah, you just like lunge out with your like neck extended in a weird, very uncomfortable way, and just fully bite over this wasp and swallow it without thinking.
Am I able to control myself after I do that, or
No.
Fun fact for you. My cousin once drank a wasp, and it stung him all the way down.
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely going to do this. Where is my poison save? You have another save. Oh, I need you to make another DC 15 con save.
All right.
Okay.
With
You still get
Bless.
the +4, but that can only get you to a 14. It's DC 15.
Yeah, I mean, just for the heck of it, I'll roll it.
Sure. Just so you can feel bad when it's like a 4. So, they get stung in the throat. Your throat swells. I'm not going to immediately enact like actual gameplay penalties for that, because that is like a weird happenstance and not the normal part of this ability. You are being disconnected from your soul. Any action that you wish to take requires a DC 8 charisma save or automatically fails.
Okay.
You feel just inherently not one with yourself. It's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do in your turn?
Me? I would like to. I don't know. Like, is there anything I could do to like shake it, or like
What?
like the feeling of being out of body?
No. If you can like hear your own poison, then sure, but it's a poison. You have to deal with poison.
Oh, it's the poison that's doing it. Okay.
Yep. So your turn ends. Everyone sees you lashed out like and bit over this insect. And I didn't actually even ask you to roll because it had 1 hit point remaining. It was a single remaining wasp, and you swallowed it. Who's next? Callen. You saw that happen. What do you do?
So there's no more wasps around?
There was like this environmental, like cinematic wall of wasps around you, but there is none that have like encroached past that perimeter currently. You are like near enough to this like mound of earth that something.
Do you mind? Can I use my turn to like try and communicate with people, or is that?
No.
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 Okay.
You are like I think everyone notices that you have been like affected by this buzzing that no one can.
Okay.
So we see a mound of earth that we know that something's beneath.
Yep.
Okay, I'll cast Mage Hand and have it start digging where that mound is.
Okay. Mage Hand isn't the most effective digging tool. It can lift 10 pounds at a time. It's literally a hand. It's not a shovel. But you can start working at it, and I think that is totally reasonable.
Well, given the circumstance, I don't want to leave the perimeter. Don't know what's around.
You don't want to stick your hand in that, and I totally understand that. You know that would be not great.
Nope. So that is what we'll do for now until such time as I see a threat. Then, yeah.
Great. Mage hands are also great for holding lit torches. If you ever need to like do something with that.
Understood.
Kittie, you are up in the sky. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to look very carefully at this mound and think it's an illusion.
Okay. I think the will to do that is enough to get it without it costing you an action. Please make a... What is it normally? I think an intelligence saving throw? Is that usually what it is?
I think it's investigation check.
It could be investigation, yeah. Because there are
or perception
spells that do this.
And I am going to cross my fingers and roll investigation then.
All right, minor illusion. I'll use as my example. Intelligence investigation check, yeah.
Intelligence investigation.
Yep, that is...
Sucked.
That one.
It looks real to you.
Ooh.
But that is not going to eat your turn. You can still do other things. I'll say that's a free action.
There is no wasps attacking anybody right now, right?
Not currently, right? Like, narratively, there are people with torches and smoke at the edges of this group, and there are wasps there that are, like, trying to push in, but they're not actively attacking.
Are you saying there's a crowd of villagers with us?
No.
Oh, it's just us.
It's just you. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get my bow ready and hold my action then.
Okay. Great. I'm happy for that. I think that's a good enough action trigger. I don't need anything more specific than that. And Tybalt, which I just realized that I had not. You both have the same initiative, so could have been the other order if we wanted it to be.
That's okay.
Anyway,
I am going to. So, I mean, I noticed that there's that mound that's been pointed out, and just cleared temporarily the swarm, and also craziness with the wasp biting and swallowing and whatnot.
It's not great. No,
not great. The mound. Is there, quickly looking at it, is there any entrance hole, or is it just a mound of dirt?
It's a mound of dirt. I think maybe if you squint your eyes and look at it, you'll see there are holes in such a way that wasps are coming out of it occasionally and going into it occasionally.
Yeah.
But it's not like there's a an animal burrow or something like that.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to. So I know that we need to start to clear the area. I'm actually going to start planting torches.
Okay.
Around the mound.
Okay. Cool.
To keep everything so that we'll have access to our weapons and whatnot. But now we're gonna create a safe space where we'll have our hands free. But now,
everybody, it's a safe space.
I don't know. Yell it to the others. Form a defensive perimeter.
Yeah, no, I love that. Just so you're pushing you're wafting the swarms back to get extra space to then establish this perimeter of torches, and create a better area so that when something terrible happens, which obviously is about to, you are in a better position to do so. I think that that can totally just be your turn, and we can get a large. How much of an area do you want?
There's only probably so much I could do from a walking distance, right? So probably as much as you'll give, 20, 30 feet diameter or something like that.
Cool.
As much as I can walk around.
Okay, that seems reasonable to me. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. As you plant this last torch and make sure it's lit and is billowing smoke in a way that is useful, you feel the ground rumble near you. You're not exactly on the mound, so you're it's not grab your foot or anything, but something starts to pull itself out of under the earth, chunks of loam pushed away. It's not deep, it's very, very barely under the surface. And I have an image to show everyone, which I just want to throw out a trigger warning for trypophobia. Anyone watching? It's gross image. So that's that clusters or lots of little holes being unsettling. If you have that, please look away. Are you ready to fetch this image, Todd? All right. This pulls itself out of the earth. It is what appears to be a human-sized woman covered in wasp nest, from head to toe. Little bits of hive and stuff growthed over her. Holes in the wasp nest where wasps are coming in and out of just actively as she rises out of the earth.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Burn it all.
That's a good reaction. As she exhumes herself, I think she is going to turn towards Tybalt. I'm going to say Tybalt. And I'm not going to say she gets her full turn because she had to pull herself out of the ground. And a stream of wasps is going to pour from all over her terrible holes. Let us just check if I made that special weird or just normal weird. Also, we're getting on. There's 10 minutes, so hurry up and kill this person. Sends a... 15-foot range attack towards one person, deals basic attack once, then becomes the storm. Okay.
Can I take a wild guess off record?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a shambling mound?
It is. I mean, it's a custom monster, but it might be based on a shambling mound. I'll tell you later. One person dealing with basic attack. Yeah. Okay. So it attacks as if it was a stream of wasps gets sent out towards you, Tybalt, in a swarm, and they make one immediate attack and then become a new swarm of wasps. So let me just get my.
Am I fair to assume that I can hold my shield and a torch in my hand?
Yeah, I think you finished your setting up stuff. You're totally ready to fight. That was the point of your last action.
Okay.
So I just need to make an attack roll. And what's their modifier? +3. So that is not going to be enough, I assume.
Nope.
Okay. And there is now a swarm just on you, basically.
So that's 11.
Pardon?
Oh, it's just
11 total.
Numbers.
Yes. Yep. And we're back to top of the order. That would be.
I believe I held action.
You did hold an action.
I'm going to take a couple shots at her.
Beautiful. Love that. Please do.
With my short bow, of course. Let me go over to I got to bring her back up.
Mm-hmm.
Had to drop so I could see the picture.
Yeah, if you double click on things, they shrink up.
Right.
Of a character sheet or other thing. Very useful tip that people don't know about Roll20 a lot of the time.
I will ask, am I able to get 2 shots off with the short bow?
2? No, I don't think so. That's a fighter thing.
Just a 1?
Just a 1.
Okay.
Beautiful.
25s. Nice.
Now I did change your normal attack to add your modifier, so I'm going to say that this can as well, even though it might not be currently written that way. So let's take a look. Your short bow
says one piercing.
1 piercing. So we'll make that 5 piercing. But you also have a poison that is part of it, which may or may not be relevant here. So that'll be 5 damage. There's no actual roll because you're using Sprite-sized weapons. But I will definitely get that amount. What is the max health of this creature? Okay. And your target must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 minute. Okay. And
Get her.
They successfully
failed.
saved. Well, they actually have a larger modifier than 3. Surprisingly constituted. Or maybe it's just that they're not so susceptible to poison, but does not take.
Okay, but she still took 5 damage.
5 damage, yep. Again, that was your held action, so we're back to Kaylin at the top.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to finish this in time. Do we want to go late, or do we want to do something else?
Up to you.
I don't know what else we could do, but
I'm good to go.
Do we have a hard out on 12, anybody, or are people willing?
Some flexibility.
I'm fine.
I have a little flexibility.
Okay, let's go as fast as we can then.
Okay. All right. So don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Great.
It's all good. So bonus action.
Mhm.
I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon
Yep.
on to her.
Great. What does this look like? This is the first time we've seen you casting this.
It is. Oh my god. I totally forgot that I just got my spiritual weapon. Kaylin, gosh, I hadn't put much thought into this, Darcy. I'm so sorry. Can I come back to it? Just because so we can...
It's a pestle from a mortar and pestle set. No, it's not that. Yeah, I don't care. It shows up, again, we want to be snappy, so... Imagine the coolest thing possible.
Giant hypodermic needle.
Don't. Come on. I'm already
I
triggered
feel like
people with
it would
trypophobia.
be-
I don't want that going on,
Yeah,
too.
that's fair. Sorry, folks.
No, I feel like it would be something to do with kind of this idea of.
I was thinking like clippers for herbs in a weird way.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I
Big
was kind of thinking more something to do with, like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Let's not worry about it so much.
I will think about it.
Appears,
It's just
and
if you
Spiritual
are
weapon
old-timey plague doctor, it could be a bone saw.
oh
And
yeah, that'd be
whacks her. It just whacks her.
good. Please hit me with that attack roll.
All right, yeah.
So does that that's
nice.
a 20 to hit.
20 to hit, that'll
9
hit,
force
and 9
damage.
force damage. Thank you.
Nice.
And that's my bonus action.
Yep.
She has been hit, yes.
Yes.
Then with
See
my
this weapon
action,
crack in, breaking the papery wasp nest of her body.
You know what? I feel no, I won't do that. So then I reach into my pouch and I pull out my little gong, and I give it a little hit, and toll the dead.
Take a hit off the gong.
That means I need to save. It's wisdom, is that right?
It is. I'm
I
just.
succeed. I got a 19 on the die.
Let's.
I have no modifier
you succeeded.
less than a -2, so I should be okay.
Yeah.
No matter what stat it is.
Yeah.
All right.
16.
Uh,
That's saved.
Let's go to Todd. Let's go to Reese.
All right, first thing, also bonus action. Gonna move my tentacle over to that thing and just smash her with it. So,
Heck yeah. You got the double spiritual weapon. Warlock weapon and cleric weapon.
Why did it not? Oh, there it goes. 14 to hit?
Will that hit?
Oh.
Just barely does not hit.
And I'm blessed.
That's attack roll?
are.
Yep. Please.
So, a
I
D4.
think you can possibly not hit with this D4. Yep, that
one.
one is enough. That was enough. It was 15.
All right, so that hits, and I'll roll the damage real quick. I think this does it. Does it? Oh, just one cold damage.
One cold
She
damage.
feels mildly chilly. And then I'm going to be like,
Chilled.
let's...
Beautiful.
All right. I'm gonna do this just because we're just kind of short on time. I'm going to use the Cloak of the Sea Hag as
That's
my
an
action.
That is your action? Oh, great. You only use the tentacle. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
and I
that
assume
casts
you designate everyone who's
spiritual-
not you, which is cool, because this is also going to hit the swarm, presumably.
Yeah. So that is the
I
same
need
as
to make some
casting
save.
Spiritual Guardian.
I
guess-
am going to make a save for the
Wow,
nest
that didn't...
thing, the wasp nest thing, which I think will fail. And then I'm going to make another for the swarm, which I think will succeed. What's your DC?
my DC is 14.
Okay, and it is a con save. I changed it to.
Yeah,
That
sorry,
ability
it
is
rolled.
not-
It rolled too many dice here. What is?
Oh, the damage? It's 3d8.
Oh, is it 3d8? Okay, that's
It's
right.
a big spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I clutch
so both of them
the
fail.
edges of my
Nice
cloak.
roll.
Yeah,
and it just
they both
goes-
take 19 damage. The swarm is immediately swept away in the water and just like wetly splats into the ground.
Yeah, I
this is
throw
also
my
creating
cloak
a
to one side.
very strong
and it just
perimeter. If you didn't have the torches, the swarms wouldn't want to be getting into this anyway. So that would also be very useful for your companions if that needed to be the case. And I will apply the 19 damage that soaks into the wasp
Technically,
nest creature.
it
And
doesn't affect it until the beginning of its turn, I think.
Oh, that's fine. Whatever. I'll just not do it again later. I think that is that makes sense to me. That's the same thing I did when I used it against you. It happened immediately, and then just if you had already saved, I didn't make you save again.
Yeah, that's fair.
19.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of stand in the middle of the group,
Beautiful. Ariana.
humming a sea shanty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I want to try and throw a flask at the thing of Alchemist Fire.
Great. So you produce a flask. This is Alchemist Fire. It is a unique spell that is earned at level 2 when you are the Alchemist subclass of the Nostromost. And you throw that. It is thrown like a spell, so you don't have to roll to hit your target. It's just it cracks on landing and breaks open and causes an effect in an area. What is the AoE on that?
Let me take a look again.
You can actually roll it, I think, from your spells if you'd like to.
Oh, yeah, I should do it, yeah.
But I need to make some saving throws, but I think, depending on how close people have gotten to this creature, other people might as well. It has friendly fire. Magical ball of oil explodes at a target location. All creatures within 10-foot cube must make a dexterity. I think that you're probably outside of a 10-foot cube. I think everyone has stayed far enough away from a 10-foot cube. Because Reese, your stuff's 15 foot? Yeah, 15, so you can keep the distance, and you want to be keeping enough distance that you are able to hit the swarm. I think that totally seems fair. I'm going to say that is totally fine, because I don't feel like dealing with that. And I roll a d20. Do I save? What is your DC?
13.
13. And it is a dexterity to dodge. I have +1 to dexterity. I do save. So, I immediately take half of the damage, and I'm not covered in oil. Which is good for me. Oh, you do 1d4 fire damage. I'll take half of it.
So it's 2. If we're going to go by the thing that when I clicked it.
Oh, did you roll 4 already? Yes, beautiful. Great. I'll take the 2, and something immediate happens. Let me find my notes.
No.
Okay.
She smells like burning honey.
No, she pooped herself.
Let's see. If she is dealt fire damage, she ignites and continues to fight, but she's now more dangerous, but also slowly dying. First time she's dealt fire damage, she ignites. When ignited, she takes 1d6 fire damage at the end.
So she gets to die after all. Nice.
Yeah, she's on fire and a different type of on fire. She doesn't have burning oil on her, but she is just actually on fire. So at the end of each of her turns, she'll take 1d6 fire damage. Also, she is vulnerable to this fire damage, in addition to the ones you already did, so I should not have docked her health by 2. I should have docked her health by 4 anyway. So, beautiful.
But if she failed DC, she'd have taken 8, yeah.
Yeah, she would have taken a lot more. Great. So, that is happening. Everyone sees that she is on fire now. Anything else that you need to do on your turn before we move on to Callen?
No.
Okay, Callen, please. You see...
I will cast the Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Ooh, interesting. That is very interesting.
So, Wisdom 14.
Tasha. Do you have the spell card for that or not?
I can copy and paste what it says.
Okay, let's see. A creature with intelligence score of 4 or less is unaffected. Okay, I think she is affected. Okay, great. So I roll my d20. She gets a nat 20. Does anything happen on a successful save?
No.
Okay.
Must succeed. You succeed. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Fine. All right.
Wasp Lady has no sense of humor.
I know. Jeez.
Yeah. Kittie. Donnie?
Firebolt.
Beautiful. Seems like a good pick. Okay, you need to roll to attack, and I will hopefully take damage. 13. You did not get affected by the bless, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, that is not going to be enough. As your firebolt gets sent through the air, I think maybe some wasps actually fly out of her and absorbed the fire, like crackling and dying, but not hitting the main body, or something like that. She's unaffected. Anything else that you can do on your turn?
I guess I can't even shoot an arrow now. So.
Nope. Tybalt.
That's it.
So I see the creatures like inflamed. I think the swarm that was on me got splattered by the spirit guardian.
That swarm's gone. It just already has been washed away.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna rush up just to kind of keep the creature between, like, keep myself between the creature and everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, seeing that it's on fire, I'm going to keep striking at it with my torch as well.
Awesome. Please do. This is not the like weird fancy versus swarm thing. This is just attacking you. I think we decided that it was, you can use it as if it was a club, but you can convert as much damage into fire as you wish.
Yep. So that's a 16. I also get the D4, but I guess I automatically already hit, right?
Yeah, that's already hit.
Okay. And so, what is a club? Is it D4?
I believe it's D4, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the full D4 in fire damage, but I'm also going to use one of my maneuvers to do a menacing attack.
Okay.
Nice. That's an extra D something.
So it does. I add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, so I'll make it all fire damage, I guess.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And the monster has to do a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it's frightened, unless it's immune. DC 13.
DC 13. They do not have good enough Wisdom. They are frightened.
Hey.
Cool. And so your total damage is, that was the first D4.
Crappy.
And then
3.
D8. Oof. All right.
But it's
so
vulnerable.
That is an extra 6 damage. And they're already ignited, so they don't ignite again.
Right.
Beautiful.
Does it look a little bit hurt at all, or?
It is. I mean, it is on fire. First and foremost. But yeah, you seem like you're like actually like have burnt away big chunks of the like nest material.
We'll see what's underneath.
Like, it's like letting out like wasps, which then immediately burn up as well. It's like a mess. As the creature's turn starts, we see like wasps trying to like weave more wasp necks to like fill in the gaps, but they're unable to with the fire and the heat. That is my nod towards it. Is has regeneration that is stopped by fire damage. So good job, everybody. And it will lash out at you, Tybalt, as the closest creature. They get 3 attacks. Oh no, they get 2 attacks, and then they get to summon a swarm. So
is that disadvantage, of course?
From fear, yes. Thank you. They are worried. They are going to die. They are fearing for their lives, and they swing out at you.
Just as a bit of flavor. When I did the messing attack, in my mind, I was thinking about that last episode where I overcame the fear, and that's how I learned to kind of then project that, almost that primal fear from the sea hag, and combine that into a maneuver to strike the fear into the monster.
I love it. That's great.
Learning
Keep
from your
lowest
enemies.
one. So they're going to make one attack. They lift up one of these like big not meaty, but like weird papery arms and slam it down on you. They take the lower, and they will. How much modifier do I get for this? It's okay. 16.
Miss.
16
AC
to miss.
18.
Nice.
Okay.
With shield, right? So just cling off the shield.
They will try again, and this is even lower, missing a second time, and then wasps pour out of it as the final thing and try to surround you, Tybalt, for another attack, which is not at disadvantage because it is a new creature, but it totally whiffs as well. You are doing a great job at managing your, moving the torch around you to make sure they can't get in on you. You're doing a great job. And it is absolutely terrified that it is going to die and be awful. Also, it takes an extra d6 damage at the end of its turn, which I should roll. Great, beautiful. I'm the best. -2. Okay, back to the top of the order. Kaylin.
Okay. So at this point, sorry. Do I notice if, like, the last time the hammer or the
spiritual weapon?
Yeah, because I don't know what it is. The spiritual weapon. Do I notice if it did damage, like normal damage, or was it kind of less?
Cut away at the It doesn't seem like the damage was affected if we're talking in gameplay terms. Visually, you're seeing it like it cracked into the
pretty good
papery material, and burst of some wasps fly out.
Spiritual weapon.
Gross.
Maybe penicillin, and it
cool. That will hit
the enemy.
Penicillin. Yeah.
Great. That definitely hits, cracks into it, breaks another gaping hole in its self body. What else would you like to do?
I will then this point, see, spiritual weapon's the only damage thing I have. Everything else is heals. So.
Sure. Yeah.
I think for an action, Toll the Dead. It's all I got.
That reminds me entirely. B, I forgot to make you make a charisma saving throw.
Oops.
I'm not going to roll back the clock. That's my fault, not yours. But I'm going to remember that, and also I'm going to remind that Kaylin that you were poisoned in case she wants to do anything about that.
Who's poisoned?
Ariana is poisoned. It's poisoned.
Oh, shit.
B swallowed a wasp and it stung her in the throat.
Okay, I am going to... Oh, I totally forgot I fucking had that. I'm glad I looked. I also forgot she was poisoned, so yeah. I have detect poison. I don't have... Hold on. Wait, I did do lesser rest.
Yeah, lesser restoration would remove poison.
But it's a second level, and I use my second levels.
The slot's gone. Okay, cool.
I can't do it. I'm so sorry, B.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I used both my slots.
It's okay.
You can always try natural medicine if you'd like. Might just take longer.
Yeah.
Can I? Funny. Would you allow me to? Well, I've already. Could I use my action to do that, to try to kind of neutralize the poison?
Yeah, you haven't used your action, totally.
Yeah, that's what I'll do then.
Okay, I think what you're doing is you're going to go up to Ariana and you try and first you have to take a turn to assess it honestly before you can really do much.
Okay.
Because it has to be slower than magic. I don't want it to be just better, right?
So like a medicine check?
Yeah, make a medicine check. It shouldn't be too high DC. It's pretty obvious what's going on.
Oof. 8.
I think that should be good enough, honestly. I don't think it should be a full 10.
Okay.
I hadn't said
Your foot looks sore. The neck is
yeah. You're finding that. You're able to start things. And did I just walk you into a death trap? I might have. Oh well. Reese, please do something while I look up a rule that I wrote for myself.
Well,
then forgot.
It technically should have hit on the beginning of its turn, but I've still got Spiritual Guardians up.
Right. Do you want me to wait till the start of their next turn? I'll do it properly next time, or do you want to just do it on your turn?
Let's just do it now.
Okay. I have to save then, right?
Yeah. DC 14 save.
Okay.
Oh, it saved. So it only takes.
I don't have disadvantage on this or anything, right? That's just attack rolls, or what's Frighten give me disadvantage on?
Gives you disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay, great. So this is save. This is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So it made the save.
Is it? Another 20 damage. Another
20 damage total halved.
Yep, beautiful. I can't believe I gave you that. So powerful.
Oh yeah, but I only get to use it once. And then I'll do my bonus action. So that's just concentration. Bonus action: hit with the tentacle, or hopefully hit with the tentacle. Let me roll that bad boy. Tentacle of the Sea. 10 is probably gonna miss, but I can't hit.
Yep, 10 will miss. It's a 15 AC. And
even with the bless, that's gonna miss. Yeah. All right, and then I guess the last thing I'll do is maybe I guess I'll just shoot the thing with my crossbow. But it's actually, instead of a bolt, it's my Eldritch Blast comes out of the crossbow.
Love it. Yeah, you talked about how you were going to do that. We get to see it for the first time. Eldritch Blast comes out.
That's a miss.
Don't have advantage as far as I'm aware.
Off into the dim.
Will blast off. Not
even
used to your Eldritch Blast yet.
Yeah, that's not going to make it. All right, that's my turn. Oh, I guess I'll go over and kind of try to steady Ariana, because they look a little wobbly, to try and help.
Okay.
And shout over the din of the whirling.
Yeah.
So I super forgot to hit you with the 2 afflictions that are affecting you right now.
Okay.
So first, I need you to make a DC 15 con save to see if you are still being affected by the buzzing.
Okay, let's see. Nice.
You are no longer affected by the buzzing. Great. And then, if you want to make any actions, you have to make another check, DC 8 Charisma, or automatically fail any action. So just tell me what you want to do, and we'll make that check first.
I don't know if people are I'm being held down or something but I kind of want to see if I can shoot a blowgun dart at the hive lady.
Great. So you load your blowgun with your firebolt ointment, I assume?
Yeah.
Ointment of firebolt. Let's go.
So I have to, what do I have to check again? Constitution?
You have to roll to hit, I believe. Oh, you have to make a charisma save. Yes, make a charisma save. It's only DC 8.
Alright, let's see.
Okay, you automatically fail. You cannot bring yourself to act.
No, that doesn't.
Yep,
no.
Your soul is shaken. You're having this out of body experience, and you just cannot do anything.
Yeah. That's a 2. Wow.
Callen.
Magic missile.
Yeah.
Pew. Okay. That's only one of the missiles, right? You get 3 missiles, 4 plus 1 each, so you can roll. We can take that 3 and then roll another 2d4 plus 2.
That's because I put cast on D&D Beyond just to use the spell font, and that's what it did. So, hold on. Really?
I mean, you can just roll one more time. We only need 1 more missile. That's fine. Pew pew pew. All right, 3 damage each time. That's a total of 9. Beautiful. All right. That's your whole turn?
That's it.
Kittie.
I did pretty good with my bow. I guess I'm going to shoot her again.
Great.
No, I'm not. I'm going to do magic missile.
She's
magic missile.
Fire, burning to death, is terrified. You doing magic missile? Love it.
Yeah.
That's 3d4 plus 3, or you could do 2d4 plus 2 from here, or you can just click that button 2 more times if you want.
Yeah.
Wait.
Nice.
What?
13.
Yeah, right. 1d4 plus 1 can hit a 5, turns out. Wow. That's really good.
13 points.
That is 13 points of damage. Is she still standing? She is, just barely. You see her collapse down onto her knees, I guess, kind of.
Does the fire damage to the start of her turn or the end?
It is the end of her turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And
my turn?
Tybalt, yes, please.
Going to, seeing the opening, I'm just going to slash through, stab through with the club through with the torch again. Just flame in the face.
All right. Please make that hit.
That's a 20. Without the D4, so that's a hit. And I'm going to spend another superiority die for another menacing attack. So I'm just going to do the damage now, and then you can do the save throw.
Okay. I'll make a save.
So that's a fail. So I do 7 fire damage, and the fear continues.
Great. We see the last strong strike with this torch. You probably you're able to maneuver it in such a way that it spreads more quickly and catches further on her body, and the entire wasp nest just collapses in on itself, burning to ash and collapsing onto the ground. As the body disappears, basically, into ash, right? The effect is not immediate. This is not a load-bearing boss where suddenly all the other wasps stop doing what they're doing. But you have a moment where your perimeter is holding, that you can investigate the remains if there are any. And
I think we will.
Great.
Oh yeah.
The husk.
As you dust
my rapier,
the ashes, you find a surprisingly well preserved skeleton inside. An actual person died, and out here in the fields maybe, and this was built up around them. But you also notice specifically that this skeleton has somehow still attached, even in death, a peg leg that seems to be made of some material you're not quite familiar with. Anyone can make a history check on who this person might be, though. It is a weird-looking peg leg. It's not just a standard run-of-the-mill. There's some.
I'm gonna.
I'm
gonna give a wow.
Oh,
I'm gonna give an inspiration dice as well, but I guess he already rolled.
Cool.
Well, this is my home area. This should mean something.
Nice.
You remember this person coming through town. They came through last winter. It was surprisingly recent, and it was an extremely cold, blizzardy night. And no one felt they could give them room and let them in. They were turned away at every door. Maybe you heard about this later. Maybe you weren't in town that day, right? You were off doing something for the order, and you heard about this after the fact. I'm okay. You got a natural 20. This is in addition to that specific event. You also know this as a sailor. They're like a whaler, actually. They lead a captain a ship. And you know them as Captain Gams Foster, a human woman, a captain's a whaling vessel, and that's a really good roll. I don't know, maybe you
I have ogled this peg leg before.
And you know the tale of this not like a pirate, but whaler captain who has got all sorts of tall tales about her, and the peg leg she has lots of rumors, but the one that you know the best is one where her ship crashed and sank basically, and everyone disappeared, but she somehow resurfaced on the beach later. Hello? You okay, Bella?
Oh, it all of a sudden gotten really tinny, and everything, I couldn't hear you or anything. It just stopped. Everything went frozen.
Okay, it's good now.
I can hear you
Lesser
now.
restoration.
And
I'm out of that spell.
washed back into the beach, and she just had the peg leg. And it's one of those things where she loves to like make up stories about where it came from, but she doesn't actually remember.
But she was actually human?
She was human, and I actually have another image to show you. I can show you her in life that you remember. Anyone who maybe even after being reminded, you might remember.
I will have seen her around.
And there she was
small
in light,
sailing world.
and you can see her peg leg there. That is a little bit funky.
And that's what stood out.
Yeah.
Also, how
Pirates
cool is it to name?
I'm gonna take a look at the peg leg with my since I've gotten a greater familiarity and appreciation of metals and smithing.
I got a better idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast a spell, Identify.
Beautiful.
Do that.
I believe Identify is stupid and has like a long casting time, but I'm going to ignore that because it's more cool. So
We got time.
yeah,
You're mopping up
going to
wasps.
cast the spell. I believe it requires a pearl, which I'm fine with you having because I think it's more interesting to tell you about this. You identify this peg leg as being a magical item that, presumably she did not know where she got it from, and it's as you identify it, you think this probably has nothing to do with the problem that arose here in town. It just happens to be a person who happened to have this magical artifact on them. Maybe her reputation as a whaler was part of why she got turned away, but the peg leg is separate. It is I'm not going to give you like a name because it's not like a legendary artifact that has a historical name or anything, but this peg leg was affixed to her, and anyone it's affixed to can actually have their health regenerated. If you put the pieces together, when the story of her ship sinking and somehow she arose back on shore in fine health, somewhere along the line, this was attached to her to help nurture her to life. And I can give you the statistics for this magical item, but you know that it will only work if someone actually uses it as a peg leg. So I don't know if anyone's willing to amputate themselves.
Reese.
I can't do it myself. I'm too small.
Yeah, you're too small.
I mean, someday. But I kind of like being bipedal.
And so if you want to know the statistics, it has 3 charges. When you start your turn with less than your max hit points, you heal d6. When you start your turn with less than half your hit points, you heal d6. If you start your turn at 0 hit points, you heal d6. So each one of those burns one of the 3 charges. And the charges come back kind of slowly, though, so you might be... If you're ping-ponging, you're gonna only get that last charge necessarily, but they basically... Each charge has a different use, and they come back in order. It's a weird, recovery item that was bestowed upon them by something. And maybe one of you will take it, and between weeks we'll investigate it and find its origin, and maybe that will lead you off on another adventure that's not actually related to this one. It just exists in the world.
Can I cast a history check on that limb?
On it specifically?
Find out.
Yes.
I think you already did. I think that was like...
No, I didn't do history. Oh, I did history as to find out where she came from.
Mm-hmm.
I want to specifically try and find out if this is something to do with the... what's the sprites under the water? Distant family, if you will. If they're the ones that actually created this.
Sea sprites?
Okay. Yeah, make a check.
Sea sprite, if you will.
Make a check. Yeah, I think that sounds good. You want to make like an Arcana check? Is that what you're asking for? Or is it history?
Oh, it's kind of... Let me bring her back up again.
Either way.
All right, I'll go with Arcana, even though I don't have that high a one.
Feel free to do history. I heard you... Okay, it didn't change. Oh, that's Arcana and history are the same modifier, it looks like.
Yeah.
It seems like this was so I think the material is the thing that stands out the most, and that it is not like wood and it's not like stone. It's like some kind of metal you're not super familiar with that maybe.
Okay, so it wasn't the sea sprites that created it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all you're gonna get for 12. So unfortunately.
Okay. That helps.
And I think unless people want to have a cool epilogue scene because we are running late, we have cut ahead a day or two and things are calming down. The swarms themselves are dissipating without this centralized focus, and the ones that maybe you actually take the time to burn them all to pieces because they're kind of awful, terrible things now. They're not natural anymore, but they aren't continuing to pour out of this source in the ground. So you can, we fade ahead in a few days, and you've cleaned up everything and are ready to head out and back to your lives. Anyone have an epilogue scene they want to do, or do we want to just end there?
Go back and let Captain or Mayor Jack know.
Yep.
And the earmuffs will no longer be needed.
It will not be needed.
Nope. I'll go over to the Mastiff, pull the earplugs out, be like, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?"
Lick your face, so relieved. Suddenly. And they just, hiss everywhere. Okay, anyway.
Hey, Whiskers, we did it! Yeah, fuck, I don't care. Oh, man.
Exactly, that's exactly what happens.
And I will go back and comfort Sandy.
Yep.
Make sure she's okay.
Everything is looking good. It does take some time, right? Because the source is gone, but you still need to... There's a little bit of, pest control that needs to get wiped up, but everything returns to normal.
So we burned away the hive. They should leave you alone now. So you call pest control. That's who we are. Anytime you need us. And let us know if anything weird happens.
Cool.
Naturally weird. I'm good at this. Thanks, Jack.
Who are you going to call? The Buzzbusters.
We do need an episode title.
We do need an episode title. Is it the Buzzbusters? Is that the title?
All right. Internet, if you're watching, you're welcome to suggest too. And players, episode title, Buzzbusters.
Yeah. Feel free to outro us, Todd.
Who are you going to call? The Buzzbusters.
Buzz.
Right. Cool.
I still like Mind Wasps.
Mind Wasp. Mind Bullets.
Mime Wasps is pretty good. They were kind of Mime Wasps.
Attack of the Mime Wasps.
They were black and white instead of black and red. I forgot to mention that part.
What's that fear you mentioned?
What did I just say?
Things with holes?
What? Trypophobia?
Trypophobia?
Yeah, put a trypophobia warning on this.
Yeah, I will. But also,
Thank you.
maybe tripping on mind wasps.
I don't know, but I think we need to call it there. Feel free to keep talking in chat while the credits roll, but I think we are out. So have a good night, everybody.
Have a great night. Don't forget to listen to all this, and if you like it, subscribe, share the word, tell your friends, download the things, and we'll be back in a week. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. So for experience,
You've been listening to SideQuest Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons & Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the game. Dungeons & Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games, and again, we are not affiliated with them, and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game, and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. Alright, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuest Live. We'll see you again soon.